What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put the real in reality or whatever. Period. Yes.
We're back, girl, for another Big Brother season.
Woo-hoo.
We're up.
Up and it's stuck.
I have a lot of energy. No, I like that. That was a good. Yeah, that was good.
Was it?
It was okay.
And it's stuck. No.
I have a lot of energy, even though I've been up until 8 in the morning watching these live feeds. I'm still here. I'm excited. This is our first weekly recap of the live feeds. We're going to rate the players, baby. This is a motherfucking fun time that we're about to have. So I'm glad you guys are here. And let's get into it. I'm your host, Pharaoh. We're joined by our wonderful host, Lee, and our wonderful co-host, co-host, Tori. How does it feel to be the first Royal Court member to get up here and represent?
Well, I feel very special. Of course, I'm the first because everybody wants my opinion. And, I feel like I'm going to make some predictions for the rest of the season with the player rating when I go through it, too. Okay. So, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. I'm really excited.
Okay. How are we feeling about the season so far? Is it giving?
Almost.
I feel like I've heard a lot of people say that it's giving boring a little bit. They're not feeling some of the people. I'm not gonna lie, I'm having fun. No shade. Big Brother is back. I always love Big Brother, no matter how bad I feel about the casting choices. I do love Big Brother, and I just feel like it's a slower paced season, which is why some of the girls aren't like getting into it the way they want to get into it. Mm-hmm. But like the first week, I feel like always drags. Like once the season really gets started, it's gonna be good, especially because like I feel like the dynamics that are happening, I wasn't necessarily expecting. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a slower paced show. Like, that's why I'm like, people complain about there not being drama. Like, these people literally just met not even a week ago. But even today, like, Dee and Angela are starting to get paranoid. And we know Angela got a thing with Jason going on, too. Mm-hmm. So you guys got to really let things build up because these are real people living with each other. So just because you don't like somebody and you live with them for a week, you could probably take it. But it's like, once it gets to 2-3 weeks, that's when things are going to start popping off. So just be patient.
And it's funny because shout out to PCB in the chat. PCB Amy says, I'm worn out by this season. A lot of people would say they're not worn in. Like, the fact that you're worn out is interesting, but everyone has a different experience. Because I'm watching every fucking scene of the live feeds, I'm feeling the excitement, but I can see if you're just someone who keeps up periodically, or if you're used to like always watching them, that you'd probably be like, well, this isn't as much as it was last season or the season before, which is true. Because last season, it was some shit.
Yeah, last season it started off with Ashley being hated because of the shower, Rachel coming in. Like, it was a lot going on.
Yeah. And shout out to Alex. Alex says Big T, Big P, Big Lee.
Ooh,
yeah.
Okay.
No, they was making it rain in the last live too. I know that's right, Alex. Make it rain, Big Daddy.
Thank you, baby. Okay, so for the girls who are new here, we were about
to they said they were worn out because they stayed up all night. They was hanging out in here.
Hey, yes.
If y'all ain't been in the live streams, we've been live every single night the entire time that the house yes are up. We've been up. So if you want to join those, definitely join those. Matter of fact, we can get into some of that tea, no shade, because all Big Brother season, baby, we are going to be live. Lee and Josie Ann and Aja were literally just on the social network Big Brother podcast right before this. Every single day we have a new segment, a new podcast, something to get into. So definitely get into it every single day and every single night after dark. I'm live, recapping the daily feeds, and then staying live to watch the live feeds with you guys. So if you want the experience, this is where you need to be, baby.
Period. We got all your Big Brother fixes, okay?
Okay. I also wanted to say, so if you don't know, if you're new here, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go through the live feeds of the week. We're going to touch on all the important big moments that happen, talk about them, and then after that, we're going to rate all of the players. Now, we have something special for you guys this season, because typically it's just my rating, Lee's rating, and the guest's rating. But this season, we're opening it up to the kingdom, baby.
Period. Let your voice be heard. This is a democracy.
Yes, let your voice be heard, kingdom. Tell us what you would rate the players. We have a Google what is this called? Gerard?
Google form.
We have a Google form that you guys can fill out if you want to rate the players. The gag is the only way to get the access to the form is through the Discord. There's a link in the description to the Discord. And once you join, you can get this form and you can fill it out, and then your rating can be heard. As you see, we already got 50-something responses. So if you want to rate the players as well, if you want your voice to be heard, your player rating to be seen, go put it in the motherfucking form. Discord is in the description. If you're watching on Twitter, girl, you gotta
get to YouTube.
Exactly.
And click the link in the description. I know a lot of you all love to sit up in that Twitter.
No, because somebody in the last update was like, it was from a Twitter. They were like, oh, what happens to the baddies recap? Baby, if you're watching us only through Twitter, get to YouTube, baby, because it drops.
It's dropping. There's stuff that drops on our channel that's not always going to be on Twitter. So the lives are on Twitter. Wonderful. Y'all need to be watching them lives on YouTube. I know like about 400 of y'all. It's probably in the Twitter right now. About 400 of y'all need to go to the YouTube and subscribe to the Reality King.
And all y'all gotta do, if you're on your phone, like you could still scroll on Twitter and have YouTube on the background. Y'all know that, right? Like you could just scroll on. Yeah, like
it's advanced. We've made it. Let's get there. But okay, let's get into this motherfucking week. I think it's time to talk about it. Here we are.
I'm excited. I have so many opinions.
Oh my God, is this your first time talking BB?
No, I talked the episode on Sunday, but that was more just the episode, and we couldn't really talk about like live feeds and stuff. So I'm really excited to just talk about everything.
Let's get into it, baby. All right. If you're a visual learner, go to the YouTube so you can see the visuals. But for a general recap of what's going on this week, we started off in 3 people, 1 safety. Rome, Jason, and Chuck are safe for the week. The 3 icons who came into the game played the HOH competition. Dee won the head of household. She initially nominated Yash, Taylor, and Mallory. Mallory won the veto, used it on herself. And Ashley was the renom. So the final nominees are Yash, Taylor, and Ashley. And we're going to talk about everything that's been happening on the live feeds since they came the fuck on, period. Boom. Actually, let's talk about the episode because live feeds did not come on until day 4. And the episode on Sunday showed us kind of what was happening before they came on, which is these alliances here on the right. We see that when Dee and Devins came in, they linked in and they made 2 different alliances. They were like, we need to make one with the strong bitches and we need to make one with the nerds and we need to just play in between the 2 of them. That was the agreement. So they made the red corner. Really, Kamu and them approached them about the red corner, but that was a part of their plan. And then they decided to make the crossovers, with the crossovers being the more realistic alliance. We saw in the episode, Devins snitched out the red corner to the crossovers. Dee didn't really like that, but those are the 2 groups that were forming in tandem, period.
And of course, no positive thoughts about the red corner, girl. Like the red corner is the scum at the bottom of my shoe. Okay, they're very red for a reason. Red for multiple meanings, actually. And you know, it's not my shade of red, is what I'll say.
Yeah, like the red corner, my thing with them is that they're just so obvious too that they're a thing. It's like at least pretend like y'all ain't a thing. Like Kamu, I would think that he would have a little bit more game sense than that because he does seem to have some like good amount of game sense, the way that he's really connecting with everybody in the house, as opposed to like, and Haley a little bit to an extent too, but as opposed to like Chuck in particular, who be not talking to like certain people in the house at all. Mm-hmm. So I just don't understand, like, I don't know, they are just like setting themselves up so bad in the house by being so visible. And then for the crossovers, like, I just think this is the worst alliance for Drew and Barrett ever. Like, ever since they've been this alliance, the longer they stay in it, the worse I feel for them in it.
Yeah, we were just talking about that in the social network. Like, this alliance, I feel like it benefits, of course, the returnees, but a player like Drew, who's exposing every single information he gets to the alliance, and Barrett, who doesn't have necessarily that many strong connections outside of the alliance, I'm like, what are y'all end goal plans? I low-key feel better about Drew's, only because Drew is low-key kissing ass so much that I can see him like at least being taken far enough to be able to make a big move to get the win. Whereas Barrett, I'm getting kind of scared because like you were the last one brought in, and you don't have any like strong allegiances or alliances outside of this. Like, where is your end goal path at? I'm
this is the thing. Like, both of them have talked about allowing the other side to think that they're with them. But I almost think it needs to be more active. I think you guys should have something on the side because they agree they don't want to go to the end with the icons. If you don't want to go with the end of the icons, you got to go to the end with somebody. You have to have some type of secondary group to go to the end with, and they're not truly forming that. And it's week 1, but it's like I'm seeing the base is of your game, like where you're starting off, what your mindset is, and I'm like, well, y'all need to like lock the fuck in. But yes, and then also on terms of the red corner, I do feel like D, Devins, and Angela, what I'm seeing is they kind of are disregarding them, and I think they're disregarding them a little too much. Like you made effort to have a secondary alliance, use it. Like if you have a whole separate alliance of people who are going to be loyal to you, then benefit from that. Take every benefit you can from that and use them. And I feel like they're not trying to use them. They're just trying to let them be the next 3 go home. Bitch, why the fuck make the alliance if they're just going to be the next 3 to go home? They could be beneficial to you all the way till jury if you want them to. Like use these people and stay in between them. If D and Devins loses their secondary alliance, now Drew and Barrett are the ones with the secondary alliance. And you don't have one because Haley, Kamu, and Chuck are gone. So I do think that D and Devins need to make sure Red Corner does something for them rather than just go home.
Also, it's kind of interesting. I know like everybody in this season is for the most part like athletic, I feel like, but it's kind of like weird. I feel like the crossovers, I think they're kind of setting themselves up if they don't end up actually targeting the red corner before jury, they're gonna end up bringing the red corner to jury, and maybe along with like a Jason or Rome if they're still there too. And then those jury comps are gonna be 10 times harder to win for like an Angela, a Devins, even like a Drew. So I feel like, it's just like, who do you guys want to bring to jury? Like I'm looking at the board now and it doesn't feel like any group has a good enough thing for jury, but also it's like week 1, so you don't really want to be thinking about jury week 1, so I get that. But I'm just like looking at it and I'm like, if the crossovers end up going with the red corner and like a Jason and Rome, that's going to be a hard battle towards the end. It's going to really just be determined by comps.
I also feel like other than D and Angela, like the crossovers as a whole hasn't done the best job, I feel like, it's spreading themselves out throughout the house necessarily. Like people aren't clocking that this group is, fully solid and working together because people are still trying to pull in Barrett and Drew into certain shit. But it's like, I feel like socially they stick to each other a lot, especially like a Devins. I feel like it's like, who are your real connections outside of this grouping in the red corner? You know what I mean? Because if it comes to a point where they aren't able to win the competitions, they aren't able to like beast their way out, the red corner is taken out, they will be exposed to an extent. So I'm just curious to see like if they're going to pick that up. Like I know Drew keeps mentioning this parachute. I'm like, maybe y'all should be parachuting because like y'all don't have a hold, like it doesn't feel like they have a hold on this game.
Yeah.
And I would like for the majority alliance to be able to go into the next week 100% secure, and I just don't feel that security. But it's still early, so I'm interested to see where it's going to go.
And that's a question I have for you guys too, because I like how you said majority alliance, because it's like it's technically like not a majority alliance, but it is like the biggest alliance currently in the house. I was wondering, were you guys surprised that D did not create a majority alliance with more members of the house as HOH? Because it seems like that is what I was expecting D to do from her play style on Survivor.
I'm surprised it wasn't like a onion of it all. Like the red corner should make sure the red corner targets the right people. And the issue is that the red we targeting Barrett. So it's like, y'all aren't doing what you need to do. And then even to Lee's point, like there should be more of a web of intricacies. These people on the left are all intertwined with each other, and they're not very intertwined with the crossovers. If the crossovers is supposed to be the baddest bitch in the house, we're the main alliance, we're locking in, we're going to go to the end, they should have their hold on every single section of this game, and they don't at all. And I think that's kind of my issue with, I guess, the idea of these are literally veteran players in the sense that they've played Survivor. Angela has played Big Brother. They're coming in and they want to have control over the game. It doesn't seem like, and D is the first HOH. It doesn't seem as strong as I expected. But I'm not surprised D did a 5 because Reba was a 4. and they powered through 24 bitches.
That's true.
18.
I think, yeah, definitely, especially with new era Survivor, like it's easier to maneuver the game with smaller numbers. So maybe that's why they kept it so compact. And I feel like they could still be successful as a 5, but it just depends on how much they keep a lock on this game.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Amanda in the chat. She says, Twitter popped me here. Thank you. I did what I was told.
Okay.
Do what you was told. But I also want to say that if you do want your vote to be counted, you have to get it done by the time we're done updating the week. Because it will close. I didn't mention that, but it should be expected because, bitch, we finna start rating. So get
Not
your
the
shit
fine
in.
print.
The fine print. We also saw in the episode that day 2, Lyric and Rome were cuddled up in the same bed, making out. Do we like clap if you like showmances?
You do?
I'm a fan. I'm so
Girl, you're just embarrassing.
No, I think it's because you remember last season, Rachel was like, honestly, I just love. Like, I want the showmances to get together, but also they're gonna be good for her game. Like, she's a Libra, I'm a Libra. I think, like,
girl,
as a Libra,
you ain't never got on this podcast and supported no motherfucking showmans. You supporting this showmans because you like Rome, and you like Rome because you trying to get into them damn cookies.
Lee, showmances have not been amazing this last season.
This one hasn't been amazing.
Well, the Morgan of it all. Vincent Morgan, guys. Come on.
First of all, I did support Morgan. Second of all, Kat and Riley were just horrid, so it really wasn't for me. It's like it hasn't been a showmance where I really cared. And honestly, I'm not gagging over Lyric and Rome. But just in general, I love, fall in love. Swaley, I love Swaley down. Like
Love Island is over. Love Island is
literally
over. We're watching Big Brother.
Maybe that's why I'm feeling it. Like
they're not even that buzzy.
They're not. They started hooking up. They literally just met each other and immediately started hooking up. Like, can we get some conversations? Girl, no. What's gonna happen with this couple, or what I hope happens? And I'm kind of fucking with Lyric a little bit more now. I wasn't at first, y'all, because her voice, I couldn't at first. But now I'm like, all right, Lyric kind of cool. But I do think that's not gonna last. Like, the fact that they got together so quickly as soon as they got into the house, it's kind of like giving you both were low key a little thirsty to get into a little something when you got in the house. And trust me, after 2 to 3 weeks of living with somebody who you're supposed to be with, but y'all just met, y'all ain't gonna really like each other like that. But we'll see. Maybe the opposite will happen. They get married. But if they break up, I feel like that'll be a lot more interesting for the house dynamics.
I mean, the showmasters rarely break up in Big Brother, though. They be attached at the hip for real.
Low key.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I've ever seen the showmans break up on Big Brother.
That's true.
Oh, yeah, I guess not.
Even Zakiya and Polly.
And they should have.
That's right.
That was a mess.
The other thing we see on the show is that the Littles are starting to link up. The Littles are what Taylor calls Lyric, Melody, and Mallory. The 3 of them are becoming socially intertwined. They all like each other. They hang around each other all the time. And that's something to note. Then we get to the nominees. Dee decides to nominate Taylor, Yash, and Mallory. And her reasoning that we find out is because each of them are from 3 of the different groups that were working together on the first night with the HOH competition. And she felt like the most fair thing is to have one person from each group to be nominated. When the feeds come on, though, we see different things coming from that. We see that Yash is like, actually, she promised our group we were going to be safe. He feels like she kind of went back on that promise a little bit, and we're hearing retellings of this. We aren't really seeing those conversations. And people are indicating that she allegedly said that she wasn't going to keep them safe, and then she went back on it, and then she actually put them on the block. And then that was kind of like a little bit of drama, but it faded away by the end of the week. So there was that.
Real quick, because Sussy told Drama Simmer is saying in the chat, I don't see the vote. You have to join the Discord link in the description. Once you're inside of the Discord, there's going to be a Big Brother channel. One of the sections under the Big Brother channel says BB28 live feed player rating or player rating, something like that. The Google form is within that channel. So make sure you're under the Big Brother category looking at the player rating channel, and you'll be able to see the Google form.
Period. I know that's right. Y'all better get it in. We moving through. After this, we see the Littles kind of have a situation, the trio, Lyric, Melody, and Mallory, because they feel like everyone is kind of targeting them because everyone keeps talking about they're a trio, they're a trio, they're a trio, and they're feeling a little antsy about this. Specifically, Melody. Melody now knows Mallory's on the block. Apparently, before the feeds came on, Mallory kind of made a fuss about it. We did not get to see it on the feed, so we don't know. And Melody is like, I feel like we got to drop her. No shade. She went to lyrics. She said, we got to drop that girl. That girl is doing a little bit too much. We kind of got to leave her on the side, and we got to find something without her because she's not going to be reliable if she's going to be doing all this hoopla and she's going to keep being a pawn, and we just have to leave her away. And then we're a trio. She's kind of panicking about it a little bit. Like she's going a little bit fast.
And this is why you can't trust somebody like Melody. You gotta watch those type of girls, that archetype.
Wait, not too much on my girl, not too much on my
and I know a lot of girls are Melody stans. I'm not gonna say I don't like Melanie. Melanie's the only Pisces in the house, so you know, we have a kinship.
So that's how you would be acting.
Well, no, I'm not crazy. But Melody, I don't like the wishy-washiness, the flip-floppiness. I feel like it's just not smart, first of all. And like I said, I think Armonte, damn, what's that nigga name?
You said it? Yeah.
He said in the live feed update a really good thing. Like, it just feels like she's only paying attention to people that she feels like can get her far. And she ignores majority of the house. And she said today that she want to vote out Taylor. So fuck her.
Yeah. My girl Melody is not the best player. I do not even really see her making it to jury. Like, I can only imagine when Melody hits the block herself, like her reaction to Mallory being on the block. Like, I feel like her reaction is gonna be like 10 times worse when she's on the block herself.
Ooh, girl, she's gonna be hilarious.
Yes, and that's why I just love Melody as a person, though. Like, that's low-key my queen. She's just, like, so miserable, hating life. And I'm like, that is, like, so relatable, girl. Like every time I see her on the feed, she's like
that's
just
my sister, though. I think she has certain things that I feel like are on paper smart to do. And I think maybe it could help her in the game here and there. But at the time, it's like I think she's too much on the paper, and I feel like her favorite season is BB16 because she mentioned she likes Derek and Cody and she wants to play like them. And I feel like she's looking at the game in that way when we're on 10 seasons after that. We're 10 years after that because technically on paper you do want to align with people who are beneficial for your game and aren't going to overreact. But I feel like you're assuming Mallory is fucking Victoria and is going to be a pawn all day or Joey and is going home. Baby, Mallory won the veto. Like, Mallory can be very valuable for you. And we're in a world where there's a blockbuster. In this type of scenario, you don't have to just drop an ally because they might be a pawn every time. This girl might stay every time like Kelly and Keanu did, and she's in top 5 with you, and then she can take you to the end. Like, you actually should have more value in these people, and I think she's just too stuck on the technotronics of Big Brother is to get within lines. It has to be strong people, because after this, she's looking for, we need a man. We have to have a man who can win some physical comps because we can't win comps. And wait, we need a man. We need to find alliance. And it's like,
yeah. If she did watch Big Brother, I forgot which pod somebody else said this on from the Royal Court, but she definitely is like an old school fan of Big Brother, because I do believe that she like has watched seasons of Big Brother, but I feel like maybe she did just stop in the teens and hasn't picked it back up and just ended up applying and getting on and didn't watch a recent season or two, because it's very much an old school way of thinking. And you know, I just want better for Melody, but she just needs to relax. Like, and the fact that she's still trying to make this alliance, it's like, girl, it's been a fucking week. If you don't have the alliance yet, I don't think you're gonna have it until a couple more people go home and things start shifting a little bit more in the house. Because it's like, at this point, I would kind of be giving up on that till the vote is over and then there's a new HOH, because that's when it kind of opens up again to like make a new alliance like that. But at this point in the house, girl, let it go for this week.
Yeah, and then she's trying to include people like Drew and Barrett who are like fully on the other side and things like that. She's excluding people like Lala and Taylor who could be on her side. Even today, she was having conversations about distrusting Jason. It's like, well, girl, who are you going to work with then?
Yeah,
because you're running out of options.
Yeah,
literally. She act like there's gonna be somebody new coming in the house. She waiting for that twin twist. She waiting for some ex to come in. Because girl, this is all the people you got. You got to work with what you got.
Because I respect it. I respect her activeness, because she is seeming like the only person who's not in the crossovers who's genuinely looking for a group and an alliance. And I like always like that. Like, you should be worried in a sense, but the way she's going about it, it's like she doesn't have the social connections and the social bonds, because she is so And it's like people aren't really fucking with you. So you have to have the social connections to make the alliance. I don't think there's anything wrong with her wanting to make an alliance. I think that's actually very smart. You are literally on the outs. It's just you don't know who the right people are because you don't socialize enough. She doesn't even talk enough to Taylor and Lala when they are people who she should be working with, like you said. She kind of only strategizes with the same people. And I think that's going to fuck her up because you can't find the alliance if you're not really looking at who needs to be in it. And that's her problem. But this kind of causes some dissension. Drew and Devins aren't feeling it because she goes to Drew about a lot. Her and Drew have this kind of connection brewing, and she goes to him about a lot of stuff. And then when she does, him and Devins are basically like, oh, that might be a problem. Like the fact that she's willing to drop Mallory, we don't like that. And we hear through combos with D, one of the only combos with D that she has about the Renom is with Kamu. And she says she thinks it'll be Melody. And at this moment, it feels like, well, girl, you could literally be the Renom. Like, it's looking bad for her. Until she talks to Drew. And this is why her being active is better than not. At least be active. I would rather you be erratically active than erratically sitting there doing nothing. Because she talks to Drew and she talks to him for like 2, 3, 4 hours one night. And they're up all night alone, kikiing and cuckoo. And she had been telling him a lot of her tea. And through this, they form a final 2. And we see on the feeds that after this happens, the next day, Drew goes to Devins again. And instead of just saying, we need to drop her because she dropped Mallory, he starts saying, wait, I could actually use Melody. I just made a little final 2 with her. I can use her. And then things started shifting because he kept telling the crossovers this. And now it feels like Melody might not be the Renom, and we know she isn't. So to give her 5s, I think that her being active regardless has helped her in the game, which I like. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she's definitely like better than other players. I think that's the reason why I like Melody too. Like, she's not a bad player. I feel like she just needs to get maybe a little bit more settled into the game, and then she might improve a bit more because she has game sense and she is smart, but it's just like a lot of talking about stuff and not a lot of action, girl. But at least she took some action here.
Yeah, or sometimes it's the wrong action. Like it almost reminds me sometimes of how like Devon was on some of her seasons. I'm like, you're taking action, but it's not always the right action. It's almost like you're too quick to do things. Chill out, think, and then do it. But you can still be successful because you're active. And that's how it was with Devon. She was successful sometimes because she was active, and then sometimes she was actively doing the wrong thing. And I kind of see that for Melody. Like, girl, if you continue to do the wrong things, you could get fucked up and go home. If you do the right things, it could help you, but she just needs to control it.
We still talking about Melody?
She's not. After
she's
this,
a queen and deserves.
I just feel like, damn, like she definitely wasn't that big of a part of the week.
Like, she was a big part of my week. She was a big part of my week.
Oh, y'all are glazing.
This is Vanessa Russo 2.0.
This is Vanessa Russo 2.0.
That girl is going home next.
She might.
Not Vanessa.
Haley and Rome have some beef. This is also what we see on the actual feeds, is that Haley and Rome had a little something. I don't know if it was what we don't know the truth because it happened before the feeds came on. According to Haley, allegedly, Rome approached her and tried to check her about being interested in him in some type of way. He said, yeah, I don't want you to get upset because a lot of girls start getting upset when I start linking up with someone and they feel a little bit weird about that. And I don't want that to be you. Haley feels, and Rome has been told that Haley has mentioned his name as a target because of him linking up with literally Lyric. So Haley and him have this conversation and she's relaying it to D and she's like, I don't know why he thinks this. I wasn't even interested in him actually. And I'm lying to him and I'm telling him I was interested in him, but I wasn't actually interested in him. I was more so like, oh, I mean, it is what it is, but I wasn't really interested. I just played in his face and lied, but really I wasn't. So that's Haley's perspective, that she wasn't interested in him at all.
And it's giving desperate,
hey, baby. Come on. I mean, she already said in the confessional, she's a guy's girl. You know, this is not a girl's, ladies and gentlemen. I know that some people they're scarred from that word, but this is not a girl's, ladies and gentlemen. She is a guy's girl, Lord. And she is going to ride for her men just like a Bowie Jane, you know. And no shade to Bowie Jane, because Bowie Jane was working with them women and they flipped on her face.
Right. I don't know why Bowie Jane getting brought up.
You know what? Bowie Jane is not a direct comparison.
I don't know why she getting brought up.
She's been innocent for 50 years of her life.
Why am I getting
You
drunk?
brought up Bowie Jane.
Okay, let me correct myself. I was in the middle of correcting myself, and then 2 black bitches started jumping me. What is this?
Relax, Bowie.
No, she's more like Christmas. She's more like Christmas,
Okay.
you know? And that archetype is just like your energy is just sinister and nasty. So, and it's very clear that she wants to showmance with somebody because she's in the show. She's talking to Kamu all day, talking to Chuck all day. She only want to talk to the men. So,
did you see what her and Chuck was doing today earlier? She was doing some headstands, like yoga, and then she was like opening up her legs and stuff, and he was just sitting there looking in between her legs and at her ass. It was so weird. It was so weird.
Interesting. They have a final two, actually, Haley and Chuck. They have a little thing going on. It gave flirty. Chuck mentioned, like, I don't want us to be seen as a showmance right now. Haley agreed. It's something going on with them too. So put a pin on that.
I think the longer they stay in, Haley is showmance and Chuck or Kamu for sure.
Yeah.
It don't seem like Kamu want her like that, but Chuck overly going for any white woman.
Kamu don't want her.
He don't. I don't think he does. Well, D thinks he does. D says he's under her spell, so I don't know what.
Because D kind of want Kamu.
Ooh.
If we be honest, the way D be looking at Kamu.
Street saying Barrett and D got something going on.
Yes, they feed all love. And then she was smelling his armpits and being like, oh, you have nice pheromones.
She did smell his armpits.
Now, Barrett, that is going to be the social move you need to get your ass to the end. If you show D, baby, your stock going up.
D claimed to the cameras that she's not showmancing Barrett. He's just her nerd friend.
Okay, D.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
D knows because she about to be fucking on Camu and Barrett. Ooh, D. I love that for you.
Hey.
So
that's what I would do.
That was Haley's side of the story. Rome's side of the story is that this girl is jealous of Lyric. He told Lyric, hey, by the way, I think Haley's getting jealous of you, yada, yada, yada. And this is causing tension between Rome and Haley. And then also, by extension, Kamu and Chuck. Mind you, at the beginning of the feeds, it seems like they were all close, but it started to cause some tension. So there's that. Shout out to Alice in the chat!
Making it rain, baby.
Not
the mafia with Matt and I.
Shout out to Bowie Jane. I feel like that's my girl.
Yes.
You're a not.
She's retired now, right?
I don't know that that's true.
She's a legend. She should always be working.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, I thought Social Security, when did that start?
Oh, so we move into wait a minute, what did we talk about?
So now you're being ageist.
Because what did we talk about? Anyway.
I did not tell you before we got up here to not be problematic.
How's that? Okay, I got my one joke in 30 minutes. It's been 30 minutes. I've been holding it in.
So we moved to the power veto competition. Mallory ends up winning the veto. It seems to have been some sort of puzzle that she had to complete. She wins the veto, gags the set.
No, I wanted Mallory out. I wanted Mallory to go home. Because now we're in the situation where Taylor could go home.
Yeah.
And I'm just annoyed. Like, Mallory would have been the perfect first boot. Yes, but it's giving Lisa to me, where it's like, okay, she's just going to go home. Boop, veto wins.
It's not giving Kelly her likelihood?
No.
The thing is, because the archetype is just so similar. Well, based on the archetype they were trying to typecast is so similar. It makes me want to go to Kelly, but I don't see her being able to beast out like a Kelly. But I could be wrong.
Because Kelly's beast was crazy. Like, she won so many different things. It doesn't seem realistic to do that again.
Also, from the feeds, when everybody was talking about the veto competition, it sounded like most of the people in the competition were just literally confused about the directions for the competition, and Mallory was one of the only people who got like the exact directions right, and that's why she won. So I would have to I'm excited to see what the veto comp was in particular, because if it was just like one of those mix-up things, like remembering how Vince and Ashley during that final two and Vince got the shit messed up. If it was something like that kind of, then it would lower my stock for her a little bit, just in case it was a lucky thing. But also that is something to be able to process directions faster and better than other people. That's a really good skill to have. So.
And she's a rocket scientist. So she probably got it from that. Apparently Yash and Taylor did really good. Apparently Yash was second and Taylor, well, I don't know why really, but Yash was second. And Taylor was right behind Yash. So when it comes to this blockbuster, I'm like, Taylor, I hope you can take it, because Taylor also got second in that safety competition, the Chuck.
Oh, baby, Taylor is winning the blockbuster.
Taylor is.
the rope one, like the Blue Kim, not Blue Kim, Rubina. Rubina, the plug.
Oh,
You remember the one, the cage?
Yeah, I don't want it to be that one. Why we want it to be that one?
Because I feel like, I feel like Taylor compared to Ashley and Yash, because Yash is like kind of a little bit bigger, and then Ashley a little child.
Yeah, I think I want something a little mental for this one, because I don't know that Yash actually said he don't like them booth comps. I don't think Ashley would necessarily do great at mental. I think Taylor could tear their ass.
Let's get us a mental.
I think that's what I'm hoping for. So boom. Speaking of Taylor starts pushing this narrative to D. Taylor has 100 conversations with D this week, and I feel like it did influence the results of the renom, because Taylor keeps telling her, by the way, you got to be consistent, because you was telling everybody that the 3 different groups are the way the nominees went, and since one of us won, you got to look at that 4th group, being Ashley and Barrett, since they didn't get to compete at all and they were this separate thing. She's like, well, the 4th group is Ashley and Barrett. The 4th group is Ashley and Barrett. Taylor starts telling other people this. It starts getting around the house, and other people start repeating it.
Taylor Giesling, Bayham.
Dare I say Taylor Giesling, Bayham, Wong.
Wong? Who last name Wong?
Ika. But anyway,
period. I got confused for a second.
But no, she's pushing this narrative, and at first you can see D isn't necessarily giving much up. D is playing dumb all week, y'all, by the way. D is like, when someone asks, so who do you want the veto to be used on? She's like, wait, the veto? It's wait, explain that to me again? Wait, can you explain? So I think D is playing dumb.
Wait, is there a veto though? It's their veto.
Yeah, it's their veto though.
But I don't have a vote this week.
So Taylor has constant conversations about this concept, and I just feel like put a pin in that, because we see what happens with the renom.
Put a pin in that. We need to put a pin in that pins.
Oh, we got
it.
So, because Mallory has won the veto, of course, both sides of the game, everybody is feeling like, well, who's going to be the renom? They have to figure something out. Let's talk about the red corner. The red corner has a plan, specifically Kamu. Kamu feels like, this is my plan, y'all. The best person to be put on the block is Lala, because we see what's forming on this other side. Lala is close to Rome. Lala is close to Taylor, and she's the one who's holding the glue between this other side.
Oh, brother.
Mind you, she not. Everybody thinks she's annoying.
Everybody's annoyed with Lala. And no shade. Lala,
she a little annoying.
Well,
no!
I ain't want to say it, but yeah.
Don't do my queen. No.
And my thing is, I just don't like the way people talk about Lala and why they're annoyed with her. I don't like that. But at the same time, some of the stuff they say, I'm like, okay, if it wasn't Lala, I think I would probably agree with them. Like if they were saying the same things about Lala about Angela, I feel like I wouldn't have any complaints.
Oh Lord. Yeah, Devins agrees so much with this sentiment. He does not really like Lala. He constantly says it on the feeds. And in this moment, he also agrees with this this plan, because it's him and then Kamu, Haley, and Chuck who are discussing this plan. And he agrees with it. He even actually tries to push it to D and Angela a little bit, not as hard as them. So it's like, this is a plan that he agrees with. He feels like Lala being the renom is great for their game, because then Taylor, Lala, and Yash will be the noms. And all 3 of those people are on the other side. And so that's kind of what he's feeling. And that's what the red corner is feeling. So that's what they want to push to D.
I don't think it's incorrect logic of how they're seeing the sides of the game necessarily, especially because in their knowledge, they have D, Devins, and maybe even Angela to an extent. However, the issue is that I don't think they should be going after someone like Lala. Like, they're talking about keeping someone like Yash, which, to be fair, I could see how later on in the game, Yash could potentially work with them closer. But as of now, Yash isn't necessarily trying to do that. So I'm just like, why are we not looking at someone bigger? You know what I mean? Like,
the issue is that they're safe. Rome and Jason are the bigger person that's not with them. Rome and Jason can't be nominated. I actually think Lala is probably the only option. And it's not their fault. It's the fact that it's the safety shit. Because all 3 of these bitches is safe, it's like we have to come up with the other option. And I do think of the people, Lala probably is the smartest thing, because you can't get Rome and you can't get Jason because they have that fuck ass safety.
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem.
You don't want to take out Lyric before Rome, because obviously Rome is good at competitions, and you don't want to have like a pissed Rome who's really good at comps left in the game after you take out Lyric. So
I was thinking that too. I was like, Loki, I need Rome to win this next HOH if somebody gonna win.
He will Loki eat it up. I am like, is everybody Loki surprised how much they're liking Rome? I thought I was gonna hate Rome down.
I would hate that man, and he still be saying weird shit from time to time. But he on the right side of history in this house.
He working with the gay and a black woman. Like, he got me locked in, bitch. I don't got no problems with him. Okay, thank you. But yeah, so that's their plan with the renom. And meanwhile, on the other side, things are starting to come together. As you see on the image, the love triangle alliance is formed between Jason, Rome, and Lyric. They constantly talk to each other. Rome and Lyric are dating. Jason is kind of supposed to be the only one who knows they're a showmance, but everyone knows they're a showmance. So they formed this little group. And then there's also another group called Mama's Angels that's formed between Jason, Rome, and Lala, which is why Jason and Rome are the glue, but you can't take them out because they're shields. So it's like, this is what's forming on this other side. These connections are starting to happen. And through that, Jason and Rome individually come up with the same plan. And that's that Haley can fucking go. No one really likes Haley in the house. Haley rubs people the wrong way. I guess it's just her personality, because the gag is she don't do much. Like, she doesn't do much. She kind of just walks around doing handstands. But they just don't like her energy. She doesn't socialize enough with them. So their plan is to convince D to backdoor Haley.
And D not going for that. Every time D has a conversation and they leave the room, she be like, do they think I'm fucking stupid? Like, and then there's so many conversations of her just dragging Haley in them. Like, she do not like them at all.
The thing is, they don't give D a good reason really to put up Haley besides the red corner. And it's just like, well, like, if you're thinking about it from D's perspective, she would need the red corner because she's a returnee. And I think that's the problem with, like, a lot of people's pitches. They're not, like, necessary. And D even actually said it on the feeds. It's like, a good ally is going to ask you, like, how can I help your game? But everybody else is just, like, pitching to her Haley because they don't like her, instead of being like, this is how this would help you.
Yeah. And honestly, I think D does the right thing, because D ignores the red corner's pitch on Lala. She says, bitch, I'm not doing Lala. And then she ignores their pitch on Haley. She said, I'm not doing Haley. And I think that's right. If people are pitching you these people, they're going to target them. You don't have to target Lala or Haley, because they're going to target them themselves. The only, like, thing I'm thinking is maybe she should have just did melody or lyric in a way. Because I'm like, Ashley is just such a non-factor. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I don't know if that was great. But also, if Ashley doesn't go and you take out Yash, I think that's helpful for you. So I just don't know what she should have did instead of.
It's all nothing burger options at this point, so.
Yeah, you're right. And Alex in the chat says, not gonna lie, Lyric's in a trio and a showman, so you can leave her in as a target, and that's true. So
I fear she's not gonna get targeted like that though, but we'll see.
Yeah, she gives, like, it's definitely giving Nicole Franzel just a little bit, like the way she be talking and the way that she be having. I feel like when people talk to her, I don't know. Okay, am I the only one who noticed? Lyric, she only be talking about herself. Her and Haley do it, but when Lyric does it, it's like, for some reason when Lyric does it, I'm a little bit more engaged and entertained. But when Haley do it, I be rolling my fucking eyes. So I don't know.
Yeah. So yes, she ends up not doing either, and she ends up just doing Ashley, which is the gag, which it's like, I mean, she's a non-factor, and that's what D said. D said Ashley's just easy to put up. I'm not gonna piss anybody off. No one cares. So,
and it's because Ashley hasn't been doing shit, and that's why I'm so annoyed that she's not just going home. And like, it's not even a scenario where it's like people are actively trying to pick up Ashley, which is why she's staying. Like, they're kind of just saying like, oh, it's a waste of an eviction. She's a floater. She's not really doing anything, and it's so annoying. And I said this on the Social Network podcast, like, as a fan of this game, I want people to play who's actively doing something and actively trying to stay in it. And I feel like Yash and Taylor are working so hard at campaigning and trying to stay in the game. And Ashley is just walking around being cunty. Like, she campaigned a little bit and I will give her 10s for that. But it's just like I feel like she isn't fighting hard enough to stay in this game, and she may stay over both of them. And it's like it's just pissing me the fuck off, actually.
Yeah.
And I really need Ashley to go home. Like you said, she's not giving anything at all, especially on the feeds. I saw a conversation with her and Barrett today, and she was like, "Yeah, I just don't know who to talk to because I just don't know who's with who." Girl, you're literally living with these people. You can't see who's talking to who. Like you could literally just look and see who's with who. Like I'm so confused. And like you said, like I would rather Yash or Taylor stay over Ashley for sure. I wouldn't really care for real if Yash go home. I'm really just making sure my girl Taylor is safe. But if I'm being honest, it's giving a lot, especially with like the conversations that Dee and Angela are having today. It's giving very much a little bit of over gaming and paranoia from the vet side at this point because they've been in the game for almost a week straight, and I feel like that's starting to get to them. So I'm kind of confident that they're just going to end up landing back on Taylor by the time the vote happens.
Yeah, I can see that as well, honestly. But after this, we get some formations start forming on this left side. They're trying to build an alliance. Nothing's working, but they're trying. So just put that out there. Rome, Jason, and Lala talked about how they can all just use their people that they have and bring them together, which should be effective because they're connected to Taylor. If Yash stays, they're connected to Yash. Obviously, they have Lyric, and with that could come Mallory and Melody. There could literally be an alliance here, but it hasn't formed because none of them are eating that shit up. No shade. Instead, Jason is doing some other things.
Lord.
This is the last big thing of the week. We got to talk about it. Jason has been using his emotions. He's been crying and fake hugging Angela. He's been making fake slop cakes for Devin's daughter and using it as a way to connect with them. And these are all of his little strategies he's had. And so far, he's had these little plans and things, and he's told Lala. He's had a planning thing. He's told Rome and Lyric. One night, he stays up a little too long, and it's him, Drew, and Melody. And he decides to tell them every single thing he's done.
In detail.
Like
he's in the fucking dining room, and it just doesn't make any sense. Like, he was in one of the best positions in this game, I feel like, as far as socially. And he ruined it in one night because he exposed his whole game to Melody and Drew. Drew is now walking around exposing you to Angela and Devins. Angela and Devins now hate him. And then Melody was having conversations today about how she may or may not trust Jason anymore. So it's like you did all of this, tried to make this trio with them. It went nowhere. Tried to make a trio with Dee and Drew. It went nowhere because your game is fully exposed. And I was saying this earlier, like at the end of the day, I think what's going to take him to be able to turn this around, he has to be targeted down. He has to be targeted. He has to win veto or blockbuster, and then he can, I feel like, reassess. As of right now, no one is going to tell him that his game is exposed. So he's going to continue to keep doing all this fuck shit and thinking he's getting over on people, and people are going to be in the background like, nigga, you're not slick. And I would hate to see him go home so early, especially because it happened to Heisem, it happened to Jimmy. I don't want it to happen to him now, where it's like we have like this representation in the house, especially like with Jason being a drag queen, like that, like feminine energy, especially in the gay man, we don't usually always see on Big Brother, and I would hate for him to go home so early, but like at the end of the day, he's overplaying. Like, this is so much that you're doing in week one when you're literally safe. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. So I'm hoping that he can get targeted next week, win the blockbuster, and then switch something around, because I truly feel like if he's aware of how his game got exposed, maybe he can like reserve himself, work himself socially, and move on. But as of right now, it's not looking too good for him at all. Like, I can see him leaving next week.
I can honestly see Angela going off on Jason within the next 5 days. All day today, she's been on feeds just saying random comments after like just being like, oh, like I cannot stand Jason. I cannot stand being nice to him and all this stuff. So I think even before he gets up on that blog, there's going to definitely be a blow up, and it's all his fault. Why even tell people? And also, like you said, it's over gaming, because why do you need to bake somebody a cake for their daughter's birthday?
What's that got to do with anything?
Yeah, literally. And I see like being nice to somebody, and maybe it's like, like, oh, like if I'm in the house and I'm making pancakes and I know Yash really like pancakes and he the HOH, or he might be running, I need him for a veto, I'm gonna make him some pancakes. That's cool, but I'm not gonna make him a whole fucking birthday cake and pretend like I give a fuck about him and his family. Like, it's okay not to give a fuck about these people and their family, for real. Like, you don't gotta pretend.
And then even if you do it, shut up.
Like
literally,
it was working.
He'll tell Drew and Melody, and they don't give a fuck. He'll say, "Yeah, I ate that up because I made him a cake, and then I lied," and they'll be like, "Okay, and what else?" Like, we don't care. No one's got. I think he wants them to be like, "Oh, you're a mastermind." We don't.
Yeah.
Like, why do you want immediate credit for these things? And like, it's just overplaying, and it doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel so bad for Selena Epstein's. Like, it's over for her.
But he was very specific too. He specifically wants Devins out of the game. He told Drew how he's gonna do it. He told Drew, "I'm putting up this person and this person and this person as a pawn, and then I'm backdooring him." Like, so much of the details of what he wanted to do against all the icons. And then he said, and this is why I think low key it might be a little bit of like drag race syndrome or you know, the syndrome of being a star, because drag queens are stars. You know, but he says all of these icons, they're getting called to the diary room over and over and over again. Notice none of us are getting called to the diary room. Why are they getting called to the diary room over and over and over again? Like, they get called to the diary room so fucking much. With them, we'll have no screen time. Baby, screen time? I thought we wanted to win the game. Like,
yeah.
I need us to focus. Like, I need us to really focus. But yeah.
Hopefully Jason could just get it together, because it's just too much. Just relax, be quiet. But I feel like it's so much easier said than done. Like, I was thinking about that earlier. Like, I feel like we always are like, oh, don't overgame and things like that. But I can imagine myself being in the Big Brother house for the first week and just doing way too much. I always think about that one nigga from Big Brother 10, the first guy who was
Brian.
out. Yeah, Brian. That, like, it's definitely like giving very much Brian. Like, I feel like that's the perfect example of what not to do the first week is Brian, for sure.
Literally. Shout out to Alex. Alex says he think he Chelsea and he really a mirror. It's giving a mirror. Like, it's giving a mirror. It's giving, oh, this is so easy. What did she say to the cameras? Amira was like, this is so easy. Like, he thinks he's eating this shit the fuck up, and he's not.
It's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. And what's crazy is that it was literally working at first. Like, everything he was doing, everything he was saying, it was working. And then because he exposed it all, of course it's going to be obsolete now, because you didn't tell everyone what you're doing. Even your allies are now questioning you, because how can someone trust you when you're just walking around lying and being manipulative over the most egregious things? Like, if you were to somehow make it past this and get to the end, people are going to be bitter, because why are you bringing up my kids and my child? Are you bringing up my daughter? Don't you bring up my daughter? Like, no.
So we get towards the end of this week, and it's time to vote. The girls, and this is what I'm going to give the Blockbuster is 10s on every time. We don't know who going home.
Yes.
Jesus. Shout out to
as long as it's not Taylor.
As long as it's not Tyler. Shout out to Cass, because he did make this chart. You know, this first row is Yash versus Taylor. This middle row is Yash versus Ashley. This last row is Ashley versus Taylor, to try to give people who can read this a feeling on who might go home. It looks like Taylor should be safe regardless, whether she's nom next to Yash or whether she's nom next to Ashley.
I mean, it's starting to depend, though, because there are conversations happening on the feeds today where Melody is approaching some of the girls like Mallory and Lyric and saying that Taylor should go home. Yash is beneficial. Ashley is beneficial. It seems like if Yash is a final nominee, Yash could be leaving. Because the thing is, we're discussing the votes and none of the alliances are solidifying on anything yet. So we don't know where the majority, I feel like we don't know where the majority truly lies fully
at all
until the actual final two noms are set. So the way I'm looking at it is that if it is Ashley and Taylor, Taylor could potentially go.
She could.
Yash next to Taylor or Ashley, I think Yash goes. So
it's crazy because
it's not set in stone.
It's so up in the air. Like, even looking at this, every vote looks damn near even. Like, it could easily tie. And these people on the end, we don't know exactly where they're going to vote. But for example, Haley's probably going to vote with her boys, Kamu and Chuck. She hasn't stated it, so we didn't put it. But it's like, if Haley votes with Kamu and Chuck on all of these votes, it's damn near a tie. Like, each of these votes could tie. But this is the thing. Dee says, no matter what, if it ties, I'm saving Taylor. Period.
Yeah, and I love her logic.
She should.
Her logic is that so she can stay good with that side, and I think Dee is doing a good job. The best out of that alliance at spreading herself amongst the house. She has a relationship with the Red Corner. She has an in with the white girls through Lyric. She has a relationship with Taylor, Lala, and Jason. Like, she seems to have relationships across the house, and that's what I would like to see for a dominant alliance, really.
Exactly, 100%.
Especially
All
the
right.
first HOH.
Let's get into this motherfucking rating, y'all. It's time. It is what it is.
Girl, did you were seeing today on the feeds Angela, because Angela's going cuckoo crazy.
Oh yes, after hearing that tea about what's his name? Ooh. But yeah,
Jason. Like, this girl is on the feeds thinking that secret alliances are going on inside the gym. Her and Dee was looking at the camera for a long time trying to figure out who in that gym talking. Mind you, they pans to the gym, nobody was in there.
It's bad, but we hear y'all. Let's get into it. Boom. Of course, we'll all give our rating. We can do 0 to 10. 0.5s are allowed. The average will be at the bottom. Kingdom gets a rating this time. So let's get into it, baby. Starting off with Angela. Tori, go ahead and start us off, actually. What would you rate Angela?
I'm going to rate Angela a solid 6. That is because she is doing a lot more than other players in the house. However, I still don't feel like she has positioned herself quite correctly. Compared to the other vets, she doesn't have many like actual alliances or outside connections. And she's really reliant on the crossovers. And it also seems like she's gonna implode the crossovers very much soon because she is seeding doubt about Drew to Dee, and then she's already about to blow up on Jason. So I'm not high on Angela just because of her previous seasons, but I do think she's doing better than a lot of other people on the cast and better than her last season so far.
Mm-hmm. Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with some of the things Tori is saying. Like, I feel like she at some point needs to be wary of going to the end with this group, because I do feel like Devins and Dee would choose each other over her. I can see Devins choosing a Drew over her. Barrett has other options if he's able to start connecting with more people. And I feel like Angela doesn't have that person that is really going to be able to work in tandem with her. We kind of spoke about that on the social network. Like, she doesn't have that duo that she can kind of bounce things off with and kind of build from a structure. She's kind of is relying on this crossover structure, which she doesn't even fully trust because she doesn't trust Drew. The thing is about Angela is that she is still very unassuming as a player. Like, I feel like people are not necessarily looking at her as a threat, and I think that leaves the door open for her to still make connections. Like, it doesn't seem like Mallory, Lyric, and Melody feeling the issue towards her. Neither does Taylor and Lala. In fact, Taylor feels pretty close to Angela because Angela has been promising her vote this whole time, even though Angela no longer wants to keep Taylor in the game. Like, she's still been able to make that connection really well. So I feel like for a first week as a returnee, I think she's doing a lot of things correctly. And while I would like her to see more, I feel like strengthened connections. I feel like not a lot of people in this cast have that. And she's in a position where she can still move around the cabin. So I'm going to actually give her a 7.
Period. I also want to say, to your point about the having another connection, while y'all were live, she actually made a final 2 with Mallory. Her and Mallory agreed to work the house on different angles. She said,
"Oh my God, we were just talking about that in the social network. That is so crazy." We were like, I don't know how Mallory is going to be for a good duo with Angela, because Mallory herself is kind of cracked too. But it's interesting that she actually solidified that. Okay.
Yeah, she did duo. Do that. Which I like, and I have liked her. I like her game. Like, even with the Jason situation, Jason didn't want to target Angela at all because he thought Angela was under his wing, and he still hasn't found out why people have snitched on him, but he's noticed a shift in her. But other than that, everyone is pretty cool with Angela. Like, I don't think anyone really has a problem with her. She doesn't trust Drew, but Drew still trusts her 100%. Barrett still really likes her. The people on the other side, like you said, Mallory, Melody, Lyric, they don't really have a problem with her at all. Even Taylor likes her. I think she's genuinely in a good spot. There's maybe one scenario where she could be nominated as a pawn, maybe by Jason if he figures out she feels weird about him. But in general, she's pretty safe. This is a great first week for her, especially considering last season, no shade. I feel really good about her. I'm gonna give her the 6.5.
Period.
It looks like the Kingdom has landed on a 7 for Angela. They fucking with it.
So we all kind of in the same range.
We in the same range. Okay, Lee, Ashley. How are you feeling about Ashley?
Ashley, she just really hasn't been giving that much for me. Like I said, she when she got told she was going up, she campaigned a little bit, but it doesn't feel like any of the campaigning is actually sticking. People are considering keeping her now. People are considering keeping her now mainly because she is someone seen as not a threat, and it'll be a waste of an eviction to take her out. And I can see her continuously being a pawn if she's able to make it out of this week. I just like the fact that everyone started on the same exact day. There are so many connections and allegiances and duos and trios and showmances, and she's not in any of it. Like when we were going through the social network, like she is literally on an island by herself. And I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be a super fan, and you're not scared that you're not in an alliance. You're not thinking like, what is my next steps? So I'm just not that high on Ashley, and I don't like players who I feel like are not, like I said, fighting to stay in the game. I see 3 people on the block, and 2 of them really want to be here. Ashley just feels like she's in La La Land. So because of that, because she's on the island, and because she got nominated basically because no one's connected to her, to me, it's a 2.
That's real. I honestly, I think I have to agree. This is the thing I will say about this cast in general. Y'all been hating because I like this cast because I think they're all we don't have a Kelly and Keanu who are walking around doing fucking whatever, don't know what's going on. Arguably, Ashley has been playing damn near like one of the worser games, but even if she isn't hated by everyone and gonna be a pawn every week, or targeted 3 weeks in a row, and she has to win, like no one is playing that terrible, which I appreciate, and I want to start off by that because I don't even think she's playing just the worst game in Big Brother history, but she's just not doing enough. And the game is moving, and she's not moving forward. Like Lee said, she's supposed to be a super fan. So I'm also like, girl, are you a super fan? But she's just not moving fast enough. Apparently, before the feeds came on, she tried to make an alliance with Mallory, Melody, and Lyric. And then she stopped talking to them. And it's like, well, girl, you can't do that. You need to continue to play the game. You need to continue to strategize. So I think she genuinely has a sense of what she's supposed to do. She just doesn't do it because when she campaigns, it's okay. And then she stops campaigning for hours or days or a long time, or she doesn't check in with people, and then it just fades away. I also think she's probably the most likely person to go home because I'm not confident in her ability to win the competition. She just gave up on the first one, so she's probably not winning the blockbuster. If it's her versus Taylor, she's going home. Like, she's probably going the fuck home. So I got to do the 2 as well. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'll give her the 2. Not even much to say. Literally everything you guys said, and just a little bit of a lazy player. So 2.
The Kingdom has given her a 3. Kingdom just
that's for the face card.
That gotta be for the case card, and it ain't even that bad, but that's for the face card. Next we have Barrett. I'll go ahead and start with Barrett. I think he's in a really good position, honestly, because he does have the icon alliance, the crossover alliance with the icons, and people this season actually are targeting the vets. So him being in that alliance but not being the target is really good because they are willing to nominate Devins. They have said they're going to nominate Angela. They also do have those buffers of the red corner who are all going to go home. I think Barrett is the only person who I can confidently say isn't getting nominated by anybody. So I trust that with his game. I think his game is going good in that sense. I just want him to be more active. You don't have any active things going on outside of it. You're not making any other alliances. I feel like he should have a final 2 with Drew. He doesn't. He should at least have a final 2 with Angela or somebody. He doesn't. He doesn't have any working like things like that. He's been working on Mallory, but Angela has picked up Mallory. Mallory is supposed to be Barrett's parachute. Angela doesn't snatch that from him. He's just not working hard enough. And I feel like that's why I'm not super confident in his game right now. I think this is a good way to start off slow and pick it up. If he picks it up, he'll be fine. But right now, I got to give him the 6. He's safe. He's in a good position. No one's targeting him. This is cute. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, like Barrett, I think I go up and down just because I don't like his alliance in general. But now that it's just the current setup of the house, you kind of just got to go with what you got to go with. And he is making a lot of inroads within the house. I like that he does talk to other people, but like you said, he's not really strategizing as much with other people as he could be. He seems very much underneath D, and it's probably because he has a crush on D, which is going to bite him in the butt. But I am going to rate him slightly higher than Angela just because he is a newbie and he's coming into the game for the first time, and he was able to integrate himself well with like some vets and able to have a main alliance, which is protected by some cushion by another side alliance. So, which is the red corner, even though the red corner does want to target him. So I guess we'll see what happens with that. But I'm gonna give him a 7, and I'm rating him higher than Angela again because he's a new player. So I expect more from Angela.
Okay, period. Lee, how you feeling?
Barrett, the thing about Barrett, I feel like he's kind of in a similar position to Angela, where like he has a lot of open space to be able to make connections with anyone. I feel like as a super fan, someone who's in this alliance, it does kind of scare me that he doesn't seem a little bit more active. But the good thing is that people are still wanting to pull him into their allegiances, into their groupings, and I think that's really good. I also know he has the knowledge of the game, which I'm really happy about, because I feel like he'll just be able to pivot easier if something were to happen, especially because, like I said, he's more open, I feel like, in people's eyes to be pulled in, which is really good. I just would like to see him more actively forge his path. Like, my big fear is that, like, you know, kind of what Quinn was afraid of in BB-26 with the Pentagon. Like, if you last with this group, are you just going to be cut? Are you going to be the first one out because you were the last one in it? I'm happy that he's not letting that paranoia get to his head like Quinn, and he's not talking as much. But I just wish I kind of knew what he wants out of this. But maybe he is just chilling right now. He doesn't have to do too much. So I'm not mad at his game. I feel like he's in a good position. Like I said, people are still considering pulling him into groupings that aren't formed yet, but it's on the other side of the game, which is, I think, is really good. And I think socially, he is just really doing better than most people in this game, and he's in the main majority alliance. He'll probably be helping dictate this vote, so I'm gonna give him the 7 as well.
Period. The Kingdom has given him a 6.5.
Okay.
So in between us,
this year.
I see it. Next is Chuck. Tori, how you feeling?
Child, Chuck. My problem with Chuck is that he don't be talking to nobody for real. Like, when he really just hang out with Haley and Kamu, and then sometimes he'll talk to the people in the crossovers. I mean, he thinks they're part of the Red Corner, Devins and Angela. But besides that, when you watch the feeds, Chuck is never there. And you can tell Chuck is really just here to more socialize, and he's going to be relying more on comms at the end of the day. He did win himself safety, and he did put himself in a very tight alliance, which I love. And he did, he is a part of that alliance, but he obviously isn't the main person in the alliance either. But at the end of the day, too, he wouldn't be the first person targeted from the alliance. So he's not doing as bad as you would initially think that he is. But also, it's like, you could tell he's not like as active as he could be, and he doesn't necessarily have the best setup for the long term. So with that being said, I was in between giving Chuck like a 4 and a 5, but I think I would just give him a 4.5.
All right. Lee, how you feeling?
I'm going to try and leave my personal feelings for Chuck aside. Because, you know, if I say too much, they're going to say I hate black men. Oh, you know. But Chuck, I felt like he gave off the impression that he would have a social game that's going to be very beneficial. And all I've seen is him kind of resort to this red corner and stay within those means. I feel like, you know, when he's socializing with other people, it's so surface level, and he only really gets deep with the red corner. With the red corner. And I understand from the red corner's POV, they think they have D and Devins on their side, but that's their biggest mistake. They do not have D and Devins like that. They do not have Angela by proxy, and they're also not doing a good job at making connections with people like Drew or Barrett. They have a connection with Yash, it seems like, to an extent. I know him and Chuck were having a good conversation about wanting Taylor to go home. They want Yash to stay, but Yash staying isn't the popular opinion, at least from the crossover side of things. So I am interested to see kind of what happens with this vote, because I think it's going to dictate where the red corner stands in the game with the crossovers and the other side of the house. But specifically Chuck, I just feel like he hasn't been branching out enough from his comfort spot, which is clearly this red corner. Like, at the end of the day, just off of, you know, I mean, let's just be real. Based off of kinfolk, you could have had a close relationship with Latrice and Taylor. off rip, not doing that at all. And we know he be deep in that snow. I don't see him having the good conversations with Mallory, Melody, Lyric like that either. Like, so I'm like, what? Like, he spoke about all these things that can be able to help him. Like, he's an immigrant. He is athletic. He is sociable. He can make friends with anybody. And I'm just not seeing him do that. Like, I don't think he's living up to the preseason hype. And at first I thought Chuck maybe could make it further than the Kamu, but now I'm thinking maybe not, because Kamu even seems a little bit more locked in on the game than Chuck. So I'm not high on him, but the main reason why I'm gonna give him this score is because I think the Red Corner, they're working on information that's not true. The information that D and Devins is on their side. And because of that, I'm like, and they're not liked by majority of the house. So I'm gonna give them a 3.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah, the Red Corner is in hot water. I think nearly every single person will nominate at least one of them other than themselves and just themselves, because I think even Drew and Bear will do it. So y'all are looking really bad. And even if he doesn't go next week, it's very likely that one of his allies will go next week. He doesn't seem like anyone who could pick up the pieces. It looks like he doesn't have many connections at all. He's trying to pull an Angela. She doesn't believe him. I think his game has been not good enough at all. I don't like it. I think he might stay over Haley when it comes to his Red Corner partners, but if Haley wins veto, he's out, and she could, or Blockbuster, he could literally go home next week. I think I gotta give him a 3 as well. He's not doing enough at all. The Kingdom,
you know, y'all hate black men, like
whatever
it's really
it may
crazy
be.
that the Reality Kingdom hate black. First KC, now Chuck. Wow,
Girl,
where's Kate Lover? Where's Kate Lover at?
You was the main one dragging Casey, baby. Keep it cute.
He's just not active enough. The Kingdom has given him a 3.5 overall.
Damn,
so
I'm a little high.
We have, yeah, you ain't. That's how you feel. Next, we have D. Lee, how you feeling about D?
Oh, D, the mother, the myth, the legend. I think she's doing really good as the first HOH. I mean, the fact that none of her nominations seem that angry with her. Like, Mallory seemed pissed at first, but she hasn't had any more conversations about necessarily targeting D. I also like that she has been able to keep a good relationship with Taylor as well. Taylor is not worried about targeting D. It seems like she's doing these things and she's having conversations to make people feel like that she's also as open as a player when she truly is not. Like, we all know she's in an alliance with Angela, Devins, the crossovers as a whole, but people don't necessarily think that. People are not putting 2 and 2 together that she's with Devins, which I think is crazy considering they were just on season 50 together. Or that Angela's even with them, which is also crazy because they're all 3 returnees to an extent. So she's able to avoid it, I feel like, because some of the people are not paying attention. But regardless, I feel like she's able to avoid people assuming that she's lumped up with these people that she's not. Even doing things like, oh, if it does tie, I'm gonna keep Taylor because it keeps me in good with them. Oh, I am gonna still work with the Red Corner and have these conversations so they think that they're controlling me. The only group I would want her to get closer with is the Y girls a little bit better, because Melody is a ticking time bomb, and I will not be surprised if she direct her energy towards D at some point. But she has a good relationship with Lyric, and I can see how that could extend to Mallory, especially because Angela has a good relationship with Mallory that helps D to an extent. I feel like this was a really good first HOH. We haven't had a good first HOH like this in a minute, baby, especially in the new era. Like, to be able to avoid being targeted going into the next week, even without having basically an alliance with the whole house. She was able to pull up nominations. People are not mad with her. She's able to spread herself across the house. I just think overall, really good first week. I may be glazing just a little bit, but I'm gonna give her an 8.
I know that's right. I agree with all of the positives you said. I agree with how good this week is for her. I'm gonna speak on D how I would speak on a winner of one of these social strategy shows. So if you hear me criticizing, just know I'm criticizing from the lens of she's literally a winner of one of these social strategy shows, and I'm probably not gonna give her a low score at all. Love D. I feel like as a master of the game, you should have more webs. You should have more webs. I think that's what's worrying me. Like you said, you don't got no connection to the white girls. Like, she don't really have no connection to the white girls. She don't even really have any connection to the boys on that side. Like, she isn't doing really good with having a connection to Lala specifically, she has a good one with Taylor, but not really with Lala. With Rome, they're trying to find something, but there's not really any allegiance. She doesn't have a fake alliance with him. She don't really have a final two with anybody. Jason approached her with one, so there's that connection. But other than that, she just has the crossovers. And I also feel like something that I'm not the biggest fan of is her pushing the red corner so much under the bus so quickly. Like I said at the beginning, I think they would be valuable for her the longer they're in the game, because they'll always be a buffer in front of her. Like once the red corner is gone, a lot of these people on the other side will nominate Dee or Devins, who is her close ally, or Angela, who is her close ally. You need the red corner in the game longer, and she isn't really helping that. And I don't really love that either. I feel like I wish she had like a little bit more intricacies with her social allegiances, and I feel like she wouldn't like push the red corner too much. I wish she wouldn't do that, because I feel like that's also an issue. But still a great week. I still love it. I'm just gonna give it a 7.5 because those technotronics. I needed you to clean that up a little bit.
Ooh,
Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really impressed with Dee's first HOH. I feel like my biggest complaint with her HOH is definitely the size of her alliance. I feel like if you do have that first HOH, even though we as viewers hate seeing a majority alliance, I just think as a player, it just makes the most sense to make it a majority alliance and then make more alliances within that. It's just like one of the most basic things I feel like always works in Big Brother, but you know, she chose to do something more interesting and entertaining for us, so can't complain. So I gotta give Dee an 8, but yeah, it wasn't a perfect HOH. There are definitely some things that she could have fixed, and I wasn't like necessarily blown away, but she came out of it as not a big threat, and that's always impressive. So yeah.
Period. The Kingdom. Oh,
what?
I was surprised. I'm sorry. The Kingdom gave Dee a 7.
Period.
Ooh. I was surprised. I thought it would be a little bit higher.
I thought it was gonna be like a 10 because they be glazing.
Next we have Devins. Tori, how you feeling about Devins?
Now, Devins, child, I wish I could be higher on Devins. Also, like sometimes I think he like is miserable in the Big Brother house a little bit. Sometimes I like see him on the live feeds. He looks like he's really wanting to kill himself real quick.
He looks like he's ready to quit right now.
Yes. Like, I'd be feeling bad for him. He's not enjoying himself. At least he has Drew as an ally, but it seems like his whole game at this point is dependent on Drew and Dee. And while Drew is bringing him this information, he's not necessarily the person using the information in any way that's like useful. Like, I think when that information gets to Dee and Angela, that's when things start to happen. But once it's just with Rick, he doesn't really do anything with it but tell everybody else about it. Even his slip up with telling Angela and Drew about the Red Corner Alliance that they're a part of, that could have been something that he had in his back pocket down the line. So with that being said, and the fact that he's just not social at all, like he's not really talking to anybody outside the crossovers at this point, I have to give Devins. I have to give him, let's say a 5.5 because he has a good alliance and he's set up. But the way he's moving in the house, it's like really worrying me. So,
Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, and I like Devins on Survivor, but this is a classic case of maybe I don't need to see you on Survivor. And on Big Brother. Some people don't need to be on camera 24/7. They just do not. And I think Devins is one of those people. I'm starting to just dislike his personality a little bit. He also comes off a little pretentious sometimes, or like better than, I don't know. I just don't like his overall like aura when he speaks on other people. It's just like you're just, I don't know. You
get off the live feeds now. Yeah,
it's just giving me weird vibes. But in general, as a player, I don't think he's necessarily doing the best either, because I think he's falling into this thing that the Red Corner is falling into, where like you're kind of getting comfortable with your grouping. You know, Drew is bringing him loads of information from the other side, and like Tori said, I don't think he's doing much with it. Of course, he's trying to influence Dee, his allies, the Red Corner, but like, I don't see him talking to many people outside of those two groupings at all. It doesn't seem like people are wanting to include him in things. It doesn't seem like people are considering him in their future week plans, other than the Red Corner and crossover, which, to be fair, the tandem of the alliances or the amalgamation of people, I think is a good grouping of people that could potentially keep each other safe for these next few weeks. But I feel like Devins is going to easily set himself up to be exposed once these people start getting out of this house, because I don't really see him connecting with too many other people. Like, everyone seems to have options except him, which is why I think he is so deep into making sure the red corner is on his side and things like that, because where else is he really going to go if this fails, you know? So that's my grievances with him. The thing is, like I said, it's still week 1, and there are 2 main alliances, and he's in both of them. It doesn't seem like people are saying his name as a target other than Jason, and Jason is making himself quite the target as well. So because of that, I'm not the highest on Devins, but I do feel like he deserves some credit for helping curate a really good week for someone like D. It's just I'm just not 100% confident that he's setting himself up the best in this first week. So I'm gonna give him a 6.5.
Period. I'm with Tori on this one. I'm gonna give him the 5.5 as well. I'm just feeling not super good. I love the alliance. I love that he is in good with them. The biggest issue with Devins is he's the main one who shouldn't want the red corner to go, and he doesn't want the red corner to go. But the fact that everyone else does, that's horrible for Devins, because he will go home when they're gone. Like, it's not an option. I think D has options. I think Angela has options and time. I think Barrett and Drew have options and time. If the red corner is targeted next week, he could be the renom. He could be nominated straight up. If one of them goes home, the week after that, they'll probably put up 2 of them in Devins. Like, Devins is soon going to be targeted, and it's his lack of connections with everyone else. He doesn't have a connection to Melody. He don't have a connection to Mallory. He don't have a connection to Lyric. He don't have a connection to Lala because he hates her so much. He don't have a connection to Boom. I think that's it. But that's a lot of people. Ashley, like, it's just half of the house, essentially. And that's not good. You only have connections to the crossovers, to the red corner. The red corner is the next target. Half of the house, you don't have anything really with at all. To the point where Lala and Taylor are having conversations about nominating you. That's not good, baby. Next week, they're like, well, shit, we need to nominate some pawns, and we need to take out Devins. Like, he is getting targeted by other people as well. You will get nominated by more than just
Jason.
Oh,
is he? I didn't catch that, T.
Taylor and Lala had a conversation about who they would nominate and who they would target, and they would put up Devins. So that's the problem. Like, you're not he's not good enough. And that's the problem. But I do think he's smart, and I do think he can try to get out of this sticky situation, which, so I'm not low on him. I'm just not super high on him either. The Kingdom has given him a 6.5 as well. They're with Lee. Period. Next we have Drew. Lee, how you feel about Drew?
Drew, the thing about Drew is that he is really annoying me as a player because he feels the need to expose every piece of information of his game. And I'm just like, how is that going to help you? At the end of the day, people like D, Devins, and Angela, they have to go at some point. The people like the red corner, they have to go at some point. I feel like by telling Devins everything, it helps Devin to protect himself in his game, but it doesn't do much for Drew. And we know Devins is more loyal to D and Angela than he is to Drew. So it's like, I don't think that's good for him at all. What I do like about his game is that he, similar to Barrett, I think is able to appear as someone that can be brought in to the fold, which is why he has a good relationship with Melody and things like that. People feel comfortable, I feel like, speaking with him about general information and game. I think he could also maybe spread himself out just slightly better, because the red corner, I don't see many conversations with them necessarily. I don't see him talk to people like Taylor and Latrice. I mean, he also hates Latrice. So it's like, I just would want him to speak to more people. Like, and what I'm noticing about the Waggers, like Lyric, Mallory, and Melody, is that someone will have a connection with one of them, but not all 3 of them. And that's why I don't understand, because they are a grouping just as much as people claim Jason, Lala, and Latrice are a grouping. But the girls are not worried about connecting to them necessarily or seeing them as a target. They're like, oh, I'm gonna just grab one and then ignore the rest. But like, I don't know where you're gonna go from there, other than his connection with Melody. Like, I don't think Melody can necessarily protect him with Lyric and Mallory. So I don't know how that's gonna work necessarily. So while I feel like he's in a decent position to go far in the game, I just feel like he's making certain decisions that's not gonna help him in the long run. But I mean, I don't know what I want to give him overall. You know, I gave Devins a 6.5 because I feel like Drew is doing a lot to benefit Devins and not himself. I'm going to just give him the 6 for now. I do think he can go higher. I put stock in him on the social network because I do feel like he's someone who's going to be here for a minute. But he needs to stop sharing all of his tea. Keep some of it to yourself.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I hate that he is sharing all of his tea. He's sharing literally everything. And it's not even working because Angela and Dee don't trust him. He shares everything about his game, and Angela and Dee are having conversations about
I forgot about that.
Why they don't trust him, which isn't good. But the one pro I'll give him is of his entire alliance, he's the only one with an option to jump from. If they have to jump, he's the only person who could jump. Barrett can't jump. Devins can't jump. Dee can't even jump right now. He's the only one who can actually jump because Rome wants an alliance with him, Melody, Lyric, and Mallory. Like they want him in it. Every alliance that they come up with, Drew is included. Barrett is now not being included in those. They've had conversations and they're like, we actually don't think we can bring Barrett in, but they can always bring Drew in. Drew is always kind of safe with them at this moment, and that's what I do like. He just has somewhere to go, and that's what I want from the other people in the crossover, somewhere to go. So that's why I do feel good about his game in that sense. I just hate that he's sharing everything, and Dee and Angela don't trust him. So it's like I do feel wonky, but I think I'm going to give him the 6.5 because I still feel like he has the best position within the crossovers. He can leave, you know. So there's that. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I agree with everything you guys say on Drew. The only thing is, I feel like for this season, the rat floater type of strategy might work, which is kind of interesting how he's doing it, honestly, because it's like he's not necessarily being a floater. Like he has a solid group, but the way that he's spreading the information gives floater, and he gives me very much Andy tease. Like I could really see him being capable of pulling something like that on the Devins down the line, especially during like a double eviction. So I'm a little bit higher on Drew this week than I am on like an Angela per se, because I do think he has better connections in the house. I'm going to put him at a 7 because I don't necessarily think he's doing better than Barrett. I don't think he's doing worse than Barrett, but he's definitely not doing better than Dee for sure.
Honestly, I think the Andy comparison was interesting because I remember when he was rap floating at the beginning, he was giving Amanda everything. He told Amanda everything at the beginning, and I remember being like, well girl, you don't have to do that, but it worked. So that was an interesting comparison. I think Andy is a good comparison, but is he gonna win? The Kingdom gave Drew a 6 for the week. Next we have Haley. I'll go first. Chop. No one in the house really likes her except Kamu and Chuck, and I guess Devins knows he needs her. But other than Devins, everyone else in the crossover is pushing her under the bus. Dee is encouraging people to put her up. Angela is encouraging people to put her up. Barrett and Drew are encouraging people to take them out. Everyone on her side of the house is encouraging for her to be the one taken out, and then everyone on the other side doesn't like her. It is very likely she'll go home. Even if someone has the balls to put up Devins, Angela, and Dee, if one of them is vetoed, Haley goes up and she probably goes home. She is most likely going home next week. There's not a lot she can do. She isn't doing good at making people feel otherwise. No one likes her. I can't name more than one person, and that's Chuck. So it's really, really bad for her. She isn't doing anything to improve it. Every conversation she has, someone leaves and they like her less. She talks to Dee, she leaves the room, and Dee's like, God, I hate that girl. Like, it's bad. Shit, she down there with Ashley. I gotta give her the 2. Sorry. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, now I kind of regret rating Chuck so high because it's like I'm about to rate Haley really low, and then in comparison to Chuck, but I do feel like Chuck is low-key doing better than Haley because I think Haley's gonna go home first. With that being said, I am definitely gonna give Haley just a 3, being nice, because you know what, she is trying, and you know what, you can't help your personality. You can't help that you were born with a bad personality.
She is trying. I will say it's kind of weird how much they hate her because she actually talks game more than Chuck does. But oh well,
I think it's just like who she is. It's just like that type of person, because I've met a lot of people like Haley, and that type of personality does like kind of make me be like, oh girl, do you even want to fucking talk to me? Like it feels like she wants you to like really like be into her. And Lyric, like I said earlier, Lyric does the same fucking thing, but Lyric knows how to actually like be a sociable person and interact. Like I think it's kind of weird, but hey, child, at least she's trying harder than Ashley.
Period. Lee, how you feeling?
This is how I feel about Haley.
I know that's right.
I don't like that girl. I'm sorry. And is she setting herself up to be liked? I don't think so. Because the house don't like her, the audience don't like her. Who likes her? I don't know. But hey, the thing is, she, like I said earlier, with some of her other allies, like she's kind of stuck within the red corner, and she hasn't really gotten out of that at all. She's not making any inroads with the girls. She doesn't have many connections with other guys. I think that she feels comfortable within this group. Haley feels like a early era BB player where it's like you kind of get with your people, you shut up and mind your business and kind of rock with it from there. And it's like, we're way past that era of BB. You have to do a little bit more. You can't just find your group and hope y'all can like win these comps. Like, it's just not the meta of the game anymore necessarily. And the thing is, this season, there are a lot of different factions. So I can see how maybe she's not the direct next target, but she's not doing herself any favors. She's not really pushing any real game forward. She's, if anything, blatantly lying on people, and it's not even sticking. Like, people aren't listening to what she really has to say necessarily. So the only thing I'll give her 10s for is saying that she's gonna for sure keep Taylor this week. So period to that. But other than that, she's a 2.
Yeah. The Kingdom has given her, it's not even that high, but they gave her a 3. I wasn't expecting that. Once again, we're here. Next is,
now she lower than Ash. Oh, I was about to say
she should be. Next is Jason.
Oh, Selena S. Titties.
Selena S. Titties. Tori, what do you feel about Selena S. Titties?
See, if we were having this player rating 2 days ago, I would have been very high on Selena, but unfortunately, I am now very low. Selena's doing a lot of over gaming, and I get it. It's a long game, though. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and I can really see Selena inside some upcoming drama with Angela, which will make her just a bigger target. I do think she obviously has the ability to like make to win comps and grant safety, so I feel like she's definitely gonna have to end up relying on that once she hits the block, because it's giving, once she hits the block, I don't think she's gonna be off the block till the end of the show type situation. So I think that she's insulated well, but like we've talked about it before, like she just ruined all of her connections in a singular conversation by talking to Drew. With that being said, not doing worse, and I still think there's a lot of time for her to recover. And I feel like there might be some sort of split house situation brewing after a couple rounds, in which he might be in a better position in that case. So with that being said, I would give him I would give the 5.5, same as Devin's. Not the best, but I've seen worse.
Ooh, Lee, how you feeling?
Generous queen. This is how I feel. When I'm doing my player rating, I feel like if you are actively doing things to make your game worse, you deserve a lower score because you are actively working against your better self. And this is a man who probably would have got a 7 or higher 2 days ago, but then turned around and exposed their entire game. Jason was doing so good. Jason was probably one of the best social players in this game. But then to give up your entire game to people that you barely have any type of allegiance or connection to, for real, is so asinine. Like, I don't understand it. Like, he was doing all the right things. Like, even the way he was manipulating, I don't care that he was using her kids and Devin's kid. I really don't give a fuck. You're playing the game. But at the end of the day, why are you telling people? It takes all the power out of it. He no longer has any power, and it's just ammunition to use against him. It was overplaying, overgaming. It doesn't make any sense. And honestly, I would have gave him the 2, but like I said, I think he needs to get punished a little bit. And I'm gonna give him the 1.5.
Damn.
What about the rest of the week?
The thing is, there is no reason for you to be at the top of the game and put yourself in the bottom in one night. It was one night. He is now at the bottom of this game, potentially going home next. Like, no one has fucked their game up like that this first week. You have people who may not be doing things like Ashley and Haley. You have people who are kind of in the middle like Drew and Barry. You have people at the top of the game. This man was at the top and ruined it himself. No one was going against him. No one was actively trying to spread things to like tear him down. He did it to himself. Just shut the hell up. It's a 1.5.
It was real bad. It really was real bad. I'm lower on him as well. Not as low, but only because he still has extremely strong connections with his people. Lala is up his ass. Lyric is up his ass a little bit. Rome is his best buddy for real. Taylor is really close with him as well. He has good connections with the other side. Even he still talks to Melody and Mallory, but Melody doesn't trust him. Fuck that up. But Mallory still does. So he has connections with people that I think is still good for him. Even Dee doesn't seem as mad as him as she does. Angela doesn't even really believe what Drew is saying is all the way true because of Jason's work before the mistake he did. So he's not in the most worst position he could be because he did good work before and he ruined the good work. And that's the problem though. And that's why I still had to punish his ass because baby, why the fuck did you do what you did? However, I think that he probably doesn't go home next week because he has so many numbers. He has so many people who do genuinely like him. Even if he gets nominated, he probably wins a competition or two. But the fact that you put yourself in that position, I do have to punish you. So I'm going to have to give him, I'll do the 3.5. Yeah. The Kingdom has given, let's see. Oh, a 3.5. Okay, they feeling like me.
Girl, I had to spank him on his hand real quick.
No, honestly, you guys,
I have belief, you know. I feel like it's a recoverable situation.
Girl, let's get
I'm hoping so. I'm truly hoping so. But I just feel like I've never seen someone. I probably have because Big Brother.
But this was
so many seasons. But this was crazy. This was crazy.
He said on the feeds before we started, right before he started, he was telling Lala. He said, "I looked myself in the mirror this morning and I was like, bitch, calm down, chill out, breathe, stop spiraling." Stop doing so much. Like he told himself that, and it's like, good that you reminded yourself.
Too late,
but
a day too late.
A day too late. You should tell yourself last night, the night before. Next we have Kamu. Lee, how you feel about Kamu?
The thing about Kamu is that something about him, like the general like aura he gives off, gives like to me that he's just a little bit more locked in to this game than his counterparts Chuck and Haley. He is always having like active conversations, trying to glean information from people. The thing is, it's not that effective. Like the conversation he has with Dee, you know, some people like to say Dee and Kamu may got something going on, but as of right now, Dee isn't listening to anything he's saying necessarily. He's tried to talk to like Lyric and Melody and stuff like that to get information, and they're not necessarily giving him anything. He has his connection to Yash, who may be going out the door this week. He likes Taylor, but didn't put any work to really make a connection with Taylor. And then he's also willing to just let her go. And his logic to let her go is that Ashley is a waste of an eviction, which I don't think is a fair reason to vote out someone that you could have a connection with versus someone you have no connection with. And he's not even trying to pick up Ashley as a player. So, and his reads are all off. He's talking about throwing the HOH with Chuck and things like that. Mm-hmm. So I feel like there's just a lot of negativity. I do feel like if Kamu had the correct information, such as knowing Devins and Dee are not loyal to him, and depending on how this vote go, maybe could wake him up to the fact that they're not loyal to him, and we could see a different Kamu, a more just aware Kamu. I would like to see him with all the information to see what he would really do, because I think he could do potentially well if he knew everything that was happening. But right now he doesn't, and that's really affecting his game. But I don't know. I have a sense that he, out of all the red corner, could make it out of this. But right now, I'm gonna give him the 3 like Chuck, because you know, in the clouds for the most part, and no one really likes his grouping of people.
Yeah, he missing a lot. I'm gonna give him the 3.5. Everything you said. The pro is like the conversations he's having, being active always works, because you're right. They're not working in the sense he isn't getting any information from Lyric, Melody, Dee when he talks to them. But Dee and Angela had a conversation and they said, we can use Kamu. And then Lyric and Melody had a conversation and they said they can use Kamu. So even though it's not working and giving him information, both sides of the game think that when they take out Haley and Chuck, they can pull Kamu in, which is probably going to be his success story if he can make it past this hump of them being targeted. It's because he's doing this active work. So I'm going to give him 0.5 for that. But that's all. Tori, how you feeling?
Y'all going to be a little mad at me. Because
am I?
I'm going to give Kamu the 5.5.
Oh, girl, you up here doing any motherfucking thing.
Why? My thing is, okay, so this is my logic and my number rating.
Is there logic?
There is logic. My thing with Kamu is that I think.
Do you know what 5 means? 0 is the worst.
Yeah.
Okay.
5 is like okay. You're like average.
Go ahead then.
The reason I have him at 5.5 is because he is.
Okay, I'm done.
He is an active player, and I do think there's a lot more roads for him in the future. I think it really just kind of depends on how things shake out with Haley and Chuck and how he pivots, because I honestly don't think Kamu will be the first person out from the red corner, and I feel like he has done a lot of work to make sure of that. But like you guys said, he doesn't have a good vision of the game clearly. However, his game sense is a lot better than other people's. I feel like his game sense is kind of similar to Rome, but Rome just has way more information than Kamu. So with that being said, I don't think he's doing the best. However, I think he's doing better than Chuck. And I think him, Devins, and Jason are kind of like on the same field where it can either go like really down or really up for them, but they're not like inactive and stuff. And I think for me, that's the most important thing first week. Like, are you at least playing the game?
Mm-hmm. Okay, period. The Kingdom has given Kamu.
Oh my God.
What, girl?
Say the score real quick. I'll tell them.
Kingdom has given Kamu a 4.
Oh, okay. That was more on Tori's side a little bit.
Exactly.
It was closer to me.
Girl, listen to this update. Jason is telling Rome and Lala about his alliance with Melody and Drew. Jason says he is playing them and will report everything back to Lala and Rome. He says he named it the Court Jesters because he made Drew and Melody his court jesters.
Can I lower his score to a 4.2?
You can.
Can I lower his score, child? Because why he's saying all that? Why are you calling people court jesters? Like, I thought he was about to turn it around and be like, all right, let me chill out for a few days.
Right. To a 4 what?
Let's put him with Chuck. 4.5, child. Okay, it's not totally order yet.
Yeah, deserved. Next is Lala. Damn. It don't look good. I ain't gonna lie. She has multiple people targeting her. Kamu, Haley, and Chuck literally tried to get her backdoored this week. Devins also low-key tried to get her backdoored this week. Next week, it looks like she will get nominated by all of those people, honestly, because they already feel like she's a part of the problem, and Rome, and probably Jason. Like, her whole alliance probably could get nominated by a couple of people in the house. The good thing is, everyone else in the house probably wouldn't target Lala or nominate Lala. So she does have that positive. It is good that she has some form of a structure on her side. It is good that she has the connection to Taylor. It is good that she continues to talk to some of the white gurus. So I think she does do good with her group of people. It's just she doesn't do good with the opposite group of people. They don't fuck with her so much so to where she's damn near the main target for them. And that is the problem. Like, she could literally be nominated next week and could go home next week, depending on who she's sitting next to or the way the votes fall. So that's just my fear. But I do think she has some people on this other side that can help her. And I think she's done good at making sure Taylor is going to be safe. She's advocated for her this week, and that's very important. She does have a connection to Yash. If Yash stays, that would be very beneficial because she has that as well. She has good things going. She's just the main target for the opposition, but it's a small opposition. Oh, I don't know how I feel. Because I feel better than Jason and Kamu. But should I? Am I just saying that? Maybe the 4? Question mark? Girl, I think I'm glazing. I'll do the 4 for now. Tori.
Yeah, I'm going to have to give her that 3.5. It's kind of like the same situation as Haley, but a little bit better, in my opinion, where she's at least trying, child, and she's a little bit more insulated than Haley, but again, she's still sticking with those same people. And I don't really see many paths for her to even make jury at this point. It seems like she's just putting off a lot of people, and that's just might be her personality, that she's just like, just has this really like strong personality, which is fine. But girl, maybe tone it down. Like, you could have been making people some breakfast and wearing an apron and not a bikini. Like, I don't think everybody wants to see your ass
Why
next to their pancakes.
Can't be a motherfucking bikini? You bitches is mad. If Ashley was doing it, nobody would be
Angela was
complaining.
doing it, everybody would be complaining, right? If Angela was on those feeds right now in a bikini, everybody would be complaining.
Doing it, nobody would be complaining.
I'm not playing it. I don't have a problem. I'm saying it's a game about perception, and you are one of the only older women there, and one of them is taking on more of the motherly role. So it's kind of just like, girl, you gotta step your cookies up and bake some cookies for this. Bake them some cookies.
So y'all just want her to fall into this old woman stereotype, okay? This is a young granny, okay? She walks around in her bikini, her extravagant styling, okay, and bold personality. She's that girl, and you bitches can't take.
Well, she's gonna be walking around with that bikini back home next.
So what score you giving her, Lee? Because you dragging.
Oh well, I'm gonna give her a 3. No shade. I mean, she's just not set up well. Like, people have the trio clock, if you can call it a trio, of Jason, Lala, and Taylor. Of course, anytime 2 black women are besties in the Big Brother, they are the most threatening duo in the game. So people feel a way about that as well. As far as the side of the house she's technically on, she has almost no connection with the Weigers, and she seems to really be connected to like Rome and Jason, and by proxy maybe a Lyric, because Rome and Lyric are showmans, but there's nothing really solidified. There were talks about creating allegiances that Yash started that included her, but people don't like Yash, and Yash is probably going home this week. Rome may protect her, but when Melody and them are talking about their plans of including people on that side, Lala is not included. She is hated by the Red Corner. She's hated by Devins and Drew. She doesn't have that close relationship with Dee and Angela. So it's just not looking good. She is disliked by most of the house because of her personality. And she can't change that. And it's unfortunate, because I know I wouldn't have an issue with Latrice. And I think there are a lot of people who could have been cast that maybe wouldn't have had an issue with her. But that's not in the environment she's in this season. And I think it's going to be her detriment, because I didn't take her to be the best strategic player. I took her to be a good social player, and she's not even good socially. So I don't have much hope for her, so unfortunately.
The Kingdom has given Latrice a 4. They glazing like me, just a little bit. Next we have Lyric. Okay, Tori, how you feeling about Lyric?
Okay, I'm low-key high on Lyric. I have to give Lyric... I low-key want to give Lyric... Ooh, I just don't know if I want to put her higher than Drill, but actually I will. I'll give Lyric a 7.5.
Jesus! What the hell are you talking about?
Well, okay, so my thing is about Lyric. She is low-key set up almost like really, really well in this house. She has a connection with a lot of people in the house, and they actually listen to her. Like, when I tell y'all Lyric be talking about herself, people be tuned into Lyric talking about herself. Like, they are obsessed with her. She got the minions going on. Mallory would literally die for Lyric.
Okay, girl, go ahead and go. Let me go.
No,
go.
Mallory would do anything for Lyric. She got Rome.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Girl, go ahead, continue your speech while I go.
No, I'm done.
Okay, Lee, go.
Well, after that crazy ass score, let's go back to Reasonable World. I didn't realize I'm a little bit higher than I thought I was going to be as well on Lyric, because I didn't realize until we did the Social Network that she does have these little small relationships across the house. Like, she is connected to both Mallory and Melody. She does frequently talk to Taylor and Lala. She has a connection with Dee. She has a connection with Rome, of course. And their showmans doesn't seem to be getting them into too much trouble at this current moment. So she is actively speaking with people in the house, and her name isn't getting said. I feel like she is in a perfect position to be able to, like, maybe ride this wave a little bit and not get caught up. I think she could be good at competitions in the future. And I do feel like she can make a deep run into this game. It's just, I don't know. And it's week 1. So if saying, I don't know if she can win, it doesn't mean much here. But my fear is that this type of archetype hasn't fared well in Big Brother recently. So I can't really see her with the crown on her head necessarily. But I don't think she's in a bad position at all, because it's very early on. Things can still shift. And I feel like if things do start shifting, she could end up in a good position, or at least in a cunty position where she's like the house target and comp beasting her way out. That could be fun. So I don't know. I'm positive about Lyric. I'm gonna give her the 5.
Period.
So you're rating her down because she's white. Wow.
Whatever it may be. I'm gonna give.
You rated her higher because she's white.
No, I rated her high because she's well insulated and she has a really good path into jury and further. Like I could see her making it to the final 2. Honestly, people really like her.
I'm gonna give her the 5.5. I do think she's not in a bad position because she has so many buffers. Rome, buffer. Lala, buffer. Jason, buffer. Melody, buffer. Mallory, buffer. She's in a side of people where everyone's gonna go home before her. It's giving Haley Brocker, it's giving Lauren. But same with Haley Brocker and Lauren. 7th, 6th, like that's what she screams. She's not. She doesn't. I don't see her making it further than that. I think her game is going to be about having everyone be a buffer in front of her, and her being good enough to make it farther than them, but not win the game. And she's playing like that. She isn't active enough. You know, when people are talking about making an alliance, it's Rome coming to her or Melody coming to her.
Girl, but they coming to her.
They're coming to her though. But girl, you're the one with the connections to make the alliance. You make the alliance, girl. Do something.
She don't got to. She got her minions going around making it for her.
So
she's that bitch.
She just needs to be a little bit more active in doing that work. What I do like about her though is that she takes the time to pull Kamu and have a conversation with him. She takes the time to pull Chuck or talk to Chuck for a little bit or talk to Ashley. Like she does talk around a lot more, and I do appreciate that. She just isn't doing enough strategically, and she doesn't have anything solid enough for me to feel comfortable with her. But shout out to her. Shout out to her buffers and stuff. Y'all in the chat talking about 6.5. Did y'all vote on this form? Because that should be where it says. Let's see. Y'all have Lyric out of 4. So all of you people in the chat talking about 6, 6.5, 7, you should have sent in your submission. You clearly did it. So all of y'all can go ahead and hush it up. Mallory is next. Lee, what you thinking about Mallory?
The thing about Mallory is that when the feeds first came on, she just gave this frantic, really emotional energy. I can easily see why her and Angela could maybe be a very destructive duo together, because they both, I feel like, lead with emotions in a certain extent. But I will say to Mallory, I may have to take that emotionality thing off of her, because I feel like she's really reserved herself after winning that veto. It could have been the nerves of initially getting there, initially being targeted. We did see in the episode she wasn't able to really talk game with Dee. She kind of fell into like this trap of only talking about personal information, and she just felt really frantic when it came to her conversations with Melody and things like that. But after the veto, when she won, calmed down a lot. I feel like I see her having really good conversations with Taylor and Lala, good conversations within her girl group. You know, she's not necessarily being included into future alliances for this side, and that's mainly because of Melody. Like, she has a snake in her camp and she cannot see it. Like, Melody is straight playing in her face because she was a target this week and she doesn't even know it. And I think that's my big issue, because she, I feel like, has a lot of stake in Melody. When Melody came to her this week literally today saying, I think Taylor should go because Ashley isn't a threat, such and such and such and such, Mallory was like, oh, you think so? I kind of agree, because, you know, she is close with Lala. And it's like, Mallory, you've been creating a great relationship with Taylor. Why would you want to cut her off? For what? You don't even talk to Ashley like that necessarily. So it's like things like that make me doubt Mallory's game sense, you know, and it makes me feel like she isn't going to know who to be loyal to. I don't think anyone in this game is going to be loyal to Mallory for real. Maybe other than Angela. And my fear is that she's going to put her stake into the wrong people, which she's kind of already doing. So I'm not the highest on Mallory. I also feel like she could easily become another pawn, maybe, essentially. The thing is, that's probably going to help her is that maybe she is good at competition. She has a good stature. Clearly, she's good at mental to an extent because what happened in the veto. So that's good. It's just, I'm not confident that she's going to be out of rough waters just yet. But like I said, I'm happy that she improved after winning that veto. So I'm going to give her, let me see. Have I given out any 4s? I don't know if she's a 4. I'll give her a 3.5.
That's real. I feel similarly about Mallory. I kind of do feel like she might not continue to get targeted, but not necessarily because she's doing phenomenal work. More so many other people are making themselves a target, like Jason and what he's doing, and Lala and the way people perceive her. So I kind of do see that she might not be nominated for a little bit, and that's good. But my issue is kind of like she doesn't work on a wide spread of connections. She has Angela, and then she has her trio. And her trio doesn't even really fuck with her, specifically Melody, that much at all. They're trying to leave her out of allegiances. And she kind of has Barrett. So it's like she has these little one-on-one relationships that are good, but widespread she doesn't. And I don't love that. And I do feel like had she not won the veto, she would have just went home because the allies around her don't care about her. I don't think anyone really cares about Mallory, even moving forward. If she gets in trouble, I think she could go home, literally. So I think I'm also going to give her the 3.5. She's doing better than what she was at the beginning. I think she's much better now that she's not nominated, but still not phenomenal. And she just doesn't have enough structure at all, and she's not doing anything to make that. But we'll see. I have some hope in her. Maybe she can really improve. Tori, what you feeling? Something crazy?
Oh, is she frozen?
Tori? Damn. And the kingdom has... Oh, okay, she back? Is she back? Is she back?
You're on mute.
Why y'all mute me?
We didn't mute you.
I didn't mute you.
No.
But yes,
Okay.
how you feel about Mallory?
For Mallory, I agree with the 3.5. I was trying in my head to get her up to that 4.5 with Chuck, but even Chuck is a little bit more insulated than her, and he only has like one buffer. She has like absolutely no buffer. Like when they're targeting that side of the house, she's going to be the person to go up. Her alongside probably like a Rome and Lala if Taylor's off the block at that point, because I think Taylor's been doing more work than her. So yeah, 3.5. And honestly, that's mostly just because she won the veto.
The kingdom has given Mallory a 5. They're feeling really good about Mallory. I know that's right. Child.
It's because Mallory got hella stands in the kingdom. The fuck is going on?
Next, we have Melody. We talked about her earlier, girl. She has strategic sense, but she does too much a lot. She's still trying to drop Mallory as it is. But I think she does do a good job at having a connection to Kamu. Jason literally gave her his whole game away to her for some reason. Don't know why he did that. She does talk around to other people outside of her little things sometimes, but not enough. And that's the problem. Like having a connection with Haley means nothing. You know, having a conversation with Ashley about the Powerpuff Girls doesn't really mean much. She doesn't have enough valuable conversations. I think the best thing going is the Drew connection, which is good, but people are talking about nominating her next week. Lala said she would be a pawn for her next week. Angela is always saying that she hates her and she can't even listen to her without wanting to pull her ears out. She's not likable. She's not in the best position at all. She doesn't really have a group. She doesn't even really have a lot of safety or buffers. If she's targeted, I think she could just go home easily. That's not good either. Good on her for, in a way, not going up as the renom when it seems like at first she was going to be. But I'm almost like, girl, did you do that or just change her mind? So I don't know. I think I'm just going to give her the 4. I think she's not in immediate danger, but I don't see long-term success right now. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna give her the 4.5. In good conscience, I can't really rate her higher than Chuck or Jason just because she's like in a similar situation of just like not having anything really solid in general. Like at least like Chuck and Jason have like a side of the house. Melody does, but she's not really a part of it. She honestly feels more so as a floater to me. There's potential for her to maybe take up like a rat floater type of role, kind of similar to Drew, since she does not have like super solid connections outside of Lyric. So yeah, but she's a cunty queen, so I had to give her the extra 0.5.
Okay, period. Lee, how you feeling?
I'm also settle on the 4 for Melody. I like that she's an active player, but I hate that she hasn't fully solidified anything. She keeps talking about it and not doing it. I also don't think that she's doing good necessarily fully socially because like I said earlier, there are people in the game that she's basically ignoring. She's pushing away people like Mallory. It just doesn't make any sense. Do I see her being like the immediate next target? Not necessarily, but I could see her easily being a pawn and being seen as expendable because people are threatened by her. The Red Corner has mentioned not trusting her and her being a threat to them specifically. So I don't know about Melody. I can see people being threatened by her as the season goes along, and her not being able to really just win the comp to get out of it or forge the alliances to keep herself safe. Like, even I think Angela mentioned how annoyed she is with Melody and things like that. So I see it eventually catching up with her, but I think honestly for her first week, she did her thing. She was almost nominated and things like that. But as far as like actively playing this game, I thought she did a good job of doing that, or at least trying. Now, if she go into next week doing the same thing, the score is definitely gonna drop a little bit because maybe an alliance should be formed by that time next week. Let's come on now.
High key, she's still forming the alliance. Like, girl, just form it.
The Kingdom has given Melody a 5.
Okay, there's a lot of Melody stands.
Yeah, there are a lot of Melody stands.
And I'm one of them. Period. Ooh. Rome is next. Tori, thoughts?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give Rome a solid 6. He's better than a lot of the other players I feel like on the cast. Clearly better than like a Chuck, a Haley, and a Jason. And also, guys, when I'm doing my scores too, guys, I'm also doing it in comparison to other people. Like, it's all within the bubble. It's not like an overall third, 6 and all of Big Brother. Like, no, it's like compared to everybody else on the cast for this week, he's a 6. Is what I'm saying.
Every score is valid. I want you to feel validated.
Well, I don't. So it's
we did boo you a lot earlier. My apologies.
No, it's too late.
I mean, a 7.5 for Lyric is crazy, but
okay. But when Lyric win Big Brother 3 times, she got that personality type. I'm telling y'all, she about to sneak up.
Let's talk about Rome.
So Rome, I'm giving him a 6. He's doing well. He has a showmance, which is a huge problem, but he's also using it to his benefit. It gets him in with the other 2 girls too, and he seems to be kind of like the head person of the other side of the house, and that's why I keep saying I can easily see a split house situation happening in the next like 3-4 weeks, depending on who goes home. And if there is a split house situation, I can see him on top, especially just because everybody's afraid of Kamu, and Rome is more of like a Kamu that people can like talk to and feel more relatable to. I think my only issue with Rome is that he could have done more. He doesn't have like a big alliance, and it seems like a lot of his connections are mostly sometimes just through Lyric as opposed to himself. However, he's super close with Jason too, which is helpful, but sometimes he don't even be listening to what the fuck Jason is saying. But again, he's doing better than a lot of the other people. So
Lee, how you feeling?
I think I'm gonna give Rome the 5. I feel good about him this first week. I feel like for someone who doesn't know the game, I think he is really developing a okay game sense as far as like the connections that he's forming and things like that. There are certain things in his game that I'm scared of. Like, I know today he thought about, sending someone like Taylor home, and I'm like, ooh, okay, she's someone on your side. Ashley, you haven't really spoken to like that. And then he's also spoken about he's exposed Yash's whole game to D, explaining that Yash wanted to create an alliance on the other side to target them essentially. And that's not information you needed to share. Like, at the end of the day, that is a group of numbers that you can be working with. That could be a group that was yours, that you probably were in the center of, depending, because you would have had Jason, Lyric, and Lala. Yeah. But instead, you just kind of gave the game away to D. And the thing is, you're still going to be working with these people to some degree. So why would you just give all the information away to D? The thing is, though, he doesn't seem to be like a house target or anything like that. People like the Red Corner are threatened by him, but they seem to be worried about other people right now. Jason has made himself, I feel like, a buffer of some sorts. And I also think that he'll be able to win competitions if he is potentially targeted in the upcoming weeks. So I don't know. I feel like I haven't been locked in on Rome's game enough to really like dissect and give him a true score, but from what I've seen, I think it's a 5.
Yeah, I think it's a 5 as well. I feel like I don't like you said, I don't like that situation he did with Yash, and then he wants to save Yash, baby, so that D can tell him that you snitched on him, and then he can nominate you if he wins HOH. Like, he shouldn't want Yash to stay after doing that, and I also feel like that deaded the momentum of that side forming. Taylor and Yash were picking up momentum on forming that side. And then he was a part of that momentum because he was literally adding people to the group that was going to be created. And then he stopped all of that momentum. And now there is no opposing side that has a formed culture. And now something else is going to be formed with maybe Drew and Barrett. And it's like, well, no, we didn't need that. It's like it was going in the right direction. And I feel like now it's going to go towards the wrong direction because Josh is going to go home potentially. You done snitched on him anyways. You're turning on Taylor for some reason, but you're not, but you are. And so you're focused on the wrong people. You want a 4 now with Drew, who's going to tell everybody about it. It's like he like went towards the wrong direction. But in general, I think he's doing good at creating bonds with the right people. He has a random one-on-one relationship with Devins, which is very beneficial because Devins thinks it's kind of beneficial for him to pull Rome in. So he talks to Dee and Angela. He's like, well, no, I kind of have Rome. And it's like, you don't, but he thinks he does because Rome is actively always talking to Devins. And then Rome telling Dee that Dee kind of thinks like he's smart, but maybe he's not after us. So he's doing good in preventing himself from being a target by spreading his wings, which is what a lot of other people aren't. So I see the 5. The Kingdom has given Rome a 5.5. Okay.
Oh, y'all on dick.
Yeah. Taylor is next. Lee.
Taylor. I'm really hoping she can stay this week because she's really been working hard, like as a nominee, to be able to make such a close relationship with the person who nominated you to where they're like, I don't care what y'all doing. If Taylor's nominated and it's a tie, I'm saving her. Like, she's standing on that. Things like that is, I think, really good for her. She's able to be her natural self and get people just to enjoy her, you know, be that personality that people want to be around. Like Kamu felt close to her earlier in the week. I know Haley has promised her to keep her safe. Even Angela felt really endeared to her, I think towards the earlier of the week. Just as this vote goes along and we're starting to discuss what's Ashley's benefit versus Taylor's benefit and who's Taylor's aligned with versus Ashley and Yash, that is what's making Taylor come up as a bigger threat in some people's eyes because she's connected to Jason. She's connected to Latrice. They think she's connected to Rome and that side of things, and they feel that is threatening. And it sucks because Taylor is not officially in any group with those people. You know what I mean? Like, she is open to be brought in, and it honestly pisses me off. I talked about this on the BB Social Network. I feel like Taylor is doing the right things for a first week nominee. She's not freaking out. She's not going off. She's not being argumentative. She's campaigning to stay. She's bringing up good arguments. Like, we spoke about how she was the main one that kind of started that narrative for Dee to put up Ashley in the first place because of the logic that she came up with of why it made sense. Like, she used Dee logic to essentially not force her, but start the narrative that Ashley should be the one going up because she was in the next group. You know, she was the one spreading it around a lot, and it seemed to have stuck, and it worked with Dee putting her up. So I just think that Taylor has a lot of potential as like a player, and it sucks because I feel like she's in a cast of people that she's not able to connect with as much, and it pisses me off because despite that, she is speaking to people. I see her talk to those white girls a lot. Mallory, Melody, Lyric, she talks to them a lot. She's campaigned to them a lot. She's begged for their votes and things like that. Same with Angela and things like that. But these people, she's just expendable to them. And I think that's something that I spoke about on this podcast before, where it's like a lot of times it feels like Black women in Big Brother are just expendable. No matter how much hard work they do, no matter how many connections that they have, it's like, oh, she can go because she's connected to this person or for this, whatever, this reason or da-da-da-da. It's like, to me, it makes no sense that Mallory, Melody, and Lyric don't want to pull in Taylor. It doesn't make any sense that someone like it just doesn't make any sense that some of the people who are saying that she needs to go is actually justified in their reasoning, other than just like, oh, well, she's not really doing anything for me, even though she's made connections with them. It's like, how is she that expendable to you guys? And I think it's because they don't connect to her. They can't have that deeper level connection with Taylor that they feel with other people to, I feel like, want to keep her in despite not being in an alliance with her, because there are several people in this game, including the people on the block, who are not necessarily aligned with too many people in this house, but it's like, oh, because they're assuming Taylor is with this person and this person. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. But unfortunately, she's on the block and she could potentially go home this week, so that does affect her score. But I feel like she's been fighting hard, and I don't think she deserves lower than a 3. So I am going to give her at least a 3 because she's been campaigning, and if she stays this week, it's her hard work. When she stays this week, it's her hard work that did it. And I'm just hoping that she can get past this and not be seen as expendable. Like, she's not an expendable player. Like, you can work with this girl.
Yeah. And I will say, I hope it's just because she's on the block and it's not reality, because I felt like there were moments where people were including her and then all of a sudden they weren't again, and I'm like, are you or are you not? And that was weird. So I'm hoping that she's able to pick up her game again and start strategizing when she's off the block, and then they can feel a little bit more actually connected to the value of her as a player, because that would be annoying. But I'm gonna give her the 4. I feel like she genuinely did influence the renom, and I feel like Ashley is a good renom for her because a lot of people are willing to save her over Ashley, and I feel like she did have influence over that. And the fact that she has influence over the economy of the game and the way that people were talking about D's HOH and how D has to be consistent and consistency. That was Taylor's words, and other people were repeating Taylor's words throughout the house. She really can be a strong player. I just think she's on the block, and that's not good. I think she has a good chance of staying or even winning the blockbuster because she's done good in these competitions. So I'm hoping for the best. Hopefully she could stay. That's my girl. Tori, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm just gonna give her on my scoring. Y'all getting really mad at me at the chat.
I'm
this
okay.
about to be my last player rated because but I'm gonna get a 4 point. I'm gonna just give her a 4.5. I can't rate her lower than Chuck or Melody. I think she's doing good. Honestly, I would bump her up to a 5 if she wins Blockbuster, because being able to get yourself from on the block, like you guys said, getting close to D, winning Blockbuster would be a good bookend to the story, and her like not even having to go through the votes. So yeah, I feel like there's options for her. There's still a chance that she'll go home, but I'm actually pretty confident that she won't. Like, I feel like the conversations happening now are like those weird conversations that always happen right before veto, because right before Blockbuster, because there's nothing else to do in between. So all they're doing is like talking over the options. But I feel like they're just gonna land back at the original option that everybody agreed on.
Period. The Kingdom has given her a 4 as well. Last and not least, we have Yash. I think Yash is probably most likely to go home. He could do good in this blockbuster, but they've been mental in the past, and he is not that good at mental from his own mouth. So he might not even win it. And if he doesn't, I think he's going home. That is very scary for him. It doesn't look like a lot of people really want to value him. It seems like now there's more momentum of saving even Ashley, because Angela is saying it now. It looks like D and Barrett are saying it as well, that Ashley should stay over Yash. So Yash is going home against either of them. So he needs to win Blockbuster to stay in the game. But even if he stays in the game, Rome is exposing his game. Like, D got your T clocked. So he actually kind of has ops. Also, the red corner does not really, they're saving him, but Haley doesn't really fuck with him. So it's like she didn't even really want to save him. She was trying to convince them not to. So he's not even fully good with them. And they have a whole nother alliance that's forming. It looks like on the feeds right now, Angela is trying to get a a bigger alliance formed with the red corner and the crossovers. And if that happens, that's also not good for a lot of these people, which I just saw. But Yash is probably going home. Like, I don't feel good about that. But he has done good at campaigning. I think he's tried very hard, and I do appreciate that, and I do think it's convinced some people here and there, but his game just seems like it's on no footing. He has no allies. No one's really trying to pull him in because they assume he's going home. So I just don't feel good about where his game is going, even if he stays, and I don't think he can stay, so I just don't feel good. I'm gonna have to give Yash a 2.5. 2.5 for trying. Tori?
Yeah, I'll just give him a 3 just for trying. But also he did not try enough for me. He didn't talk to D for the first time after I think getting nominated till right before veto. So it's just like, why haven't you been talking to her this entire time? So stuff like that he says, like, it sounds like he's not, I don't know. It's like, it sounds like he's like a nice guy, but he's also like not like even talking game with people. Like when he was up in the HOH room with D and Drew, like he started talking about like pasta and stuff, like after talking about the game for 5 minutes. Like the game conversation can't be less than the personal conversation, especially when you're on the block. So
Lee, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm gonna just give him the 2, mainly because the people that he's actively going to start these allegiances, they're not listening to him. They're exposing him. The other side aren't that fond of him. A lot of the people in the crossovers have talked about evicting him. So have the people on his quote unquote side as well. So it's not looking too good for Yash. And I do feel like even if he gets out of this week, he could easily be targeted again next week. So I'm just interested to see if he can make it out of this, like will it change for him? Like I said, I doubt it. I can see him continuously being a pawn, but I feel like I need to see more of him than what we got this week, because it seemed like once he got nominated, he got really, really reserved, and we didn't see much more. So I just, like, and it seems like if he doesn't win the blockbuster, he goes home. So it's like, girl, I can't give you that high before.
And the Kingdom has given Yash a 2. So let's look at the stats. What is it looking like in order? Okay. At the top of the leaderboard, baby, we have D at number 1, Angela number 2, Barrett number 3. Damn, literally the crossover is top 5, which, hey, they're the only formed alliance. So there you go. At the bottom, we got Ashley, Yash, Haley, Jason. That makes sense as well. I think I like how this is looking, honestly. Well, I don't know if I like it, but it makes sense.
I like it makes sense too.
Yeah. I'm a D. D's doing good, because a lot of the girls are D haters. They feel like D don't eat that shit up. She's not that girl. No, D's doing really good, and she's moving forward in the season. So let's see how she does. Boom. All right, y'all. Let's wrap it up. Get into the Patreon. We will be live on Thursday, right as the live eviction is happening, to watch along. And then after that, of course, we'll be going live publicly. But join the Patreon for all the Patreon content. Join the Discord, baby. We have our bracketology going on. If you want to join us in a fun little bracket system every week, then you can join the Discord and get into it that way. And also, some of the girls were still asking how you can submit your scores for the player rating. It's in the Discord. The link is in the description. Join the Discord, and then you can submit your player ratings that way. You can join the bracketology. You can talk about the live feeds. You can talk about the episodes. There's so much in the Discord, so get into it. Vote for one of these 10 shows, because 2 of them will be covered in this winter. So definitely send in your vote for one of these 10. The link is in the description for that. Also, get into the other things we have going on throughout July. Love Island has ended, but all of this other stuff is still happening. Real Housewives, Amazing Race, Master Chef, Project Runway. So get into all of that good shit. And of course, our BB schedule is live and packed. I'm actually going live right after this to recap the live feeds of today. And I will be on live all night. So definitely join us for that as well. And that's it, y'all. Thank you guys for keeping it real with the Kingdom, baby. We're out.